Teddy Sprinkles.
I
Oh,
think
shit,
we
we're
will be live.
live.
Are we ready for the pretty
Amish
little words?
donuts.
Yeah, sprinkle away.
Everyone thinks because you're a zombie, you don't know good coffee. Well, they're wrong. There's only one brew that gets my seal of approval. Deadly Grounds coffee is my guilty pleasure. The aroma is so intoxicating. It brings all of my neighbors out of the woodwork. Deadly Grounds coffee. Coffee to die for and zombie approved. It's good to get a little deadly. Use the front door! Oh, they're so disgusting.
The Dorkening and all affiliated shows are not intended for anyone under the age of 18. The following may contain discussions or scenes that have adult situations, graphic violence, nudity, strong sexual content, and graphic language. This show is intended for mature audiences only. Viewer discretion is advised.
Good, bad. I'm the guy with the mic.
Howdy, howdy, howdy.
Hello, 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 my lovelies, and welcome back to another episode of Padded Cell, where we're not sure where that missing personality went, but we're pretty sure each of ours have went off with it.
Yeah.
Welcome to the show.
The dish ran away with the motherfucking spoon.
We just said that you needed to be mature, and there was a warning, so maybe I shouldn't be here.
That's why there's a warning, because we're here.
The
Fair
warning is
enough.
18 years and older, because we say things like titty sprinkles, and Raz has me give random lessons on
Sexual education.
Education. Yeah, that is the word. I was trying to remember
It was
the word.
strap-ons last show.
Yeah. So
they make strapless strap-ons now.
They do.
Yeah.
Okay. Titty sprinkles. Let's see the image search.
Look up Blue Waffle while you're at it.
That is the question. So anyway.
So now I get to use sprinkle tits, right?
Yes.
Yay.
We all need a goth chick. That's all we need.
Yep.
Huh.
No?
So.
Yep. I'm agreeing.
Interesting.
This is the whole reason why I don't bring a particular mug I have on the show, and I can drink out of like halfway down the mug as I can the top because of what it's shaped as.
What's it shaped as?
It's shaped as a breast.
Well, that'd be perfect for the show.
Yes, but remember what you
It's a milk mug.
I mean, yeah, they did think Ron said it was a boob, and we got in trouble for that episode, which still cracks me up. We literally got in trouble on that episode and got yanked, and like they shut down our feed on Facebook because it said we were showing nudity, and it was just Ron leaning his head over. We went back and looked. That's all.
Oh Lord!
Did you guys not know about that shit?
No.
No.
Oh, I remember that.
Wow.
Yeah, me and Jenny have been laughing about that forever. Me and Jenny and Dell.
Yeah,
and Ron.
Facebook algorithms are just wonky.
That was months ago, like many months ago.
That was near the beginning.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't that
I
soon.
thought it was near the beginning.
No, it was a couple months after Ron joined us.
Yeah, after Ron joined us, so that's like halfway through the first part of the year.
Yeah.
Do you have any idea how hard it is to find a Mountain Dew cup in Texas that is reusable?
Oh, that's cool. I like that. It's neat.
Like the voodoo one, and the actual top has skeletal hands on it.
Yeah, I like the artwork for.
See, if I had known you were looking for stuff like that, I'd have bought like 4 down here and just ship them to you.
Please still do that. I would be grateful.
I think it was a
Bet.
Halloween thing.
It's a Halloween thing. It's
Yeah, it
voodoo.
was, but they're selling them here at the Circle K. I feel like I'm in Bill and Ted now.
I was about to say, strange stranger afoot at the Circle K.
The Circle K. They still have them there.
Nice.
Like they're trying to get rid of them.
Really?
And yeah.
That's
Hmm.
Jenny needs one. I will pay. You tell me how much I need to owe.
Yeah, well, it might not be anything because I have a working deal with the manager at the Circle K, so we'll see.
Well, shit, yeah, let me know. I hate any other flavor of Mountain Dew, but I love the artwork for the Mountain Dew Voodoo.
Yeah, here we go. Just pissing on everything I love and hold dear.
Hey, listen, I am the Dennis Leary of Mountain Dew. I only enjoy Mountain Dew flavored Mountain Dew.
I am the Dennis Leary of Dr. Pepper. I don't do all the fancy shit. So.
Same
And
here.
we
I
love
like
you
Dr.
all
Pepper
for
still
it.
too, but I got to be honest with you, I like Mr. Pibb more than I like
However,
Dr. Pepper.
This is my birthday coming up on Wednesday. Uncle
Yeah.
Necro desires a cup.
Fair enough. I will stop by the Circle K when I leave tonight, and we'll see how many I can acquire.
Oh
Now,
yeah,
Okay.
8,000.
When you ship it to me, will it be full of Mountain Dew?
Negative, but if I'm shipping it, maybe I can buy you a 12-pack.
Well, it'll have to be either Mountain Dew Zero or Diet.
Well, either way, it's $5 as long as I get more than one 12-pack at a time. So, yeah.
Oh, cool. Whatever you
Okay.
want to do.
After Christmas, you can have a cup. Because I know somebody that can help me make a Tomb of the Terrible cup.
Oh, that's cool.
I was
And
wondering about merch.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're going to get back to that conversation soon. We were on a roll with a lot of things, and then a lot of life things happen for a lot of us. But from my understanding, we're going to have a big meeting in the very near future to get everything back on track with all the shows and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
That
still
would be
going
good.
to be Tomb is still going to be every week now, though, right?
It better be.
Okay. Yes.
I hope we don't get rid of Tomb. It's like a whole lot
Well,
of people
I'm-
come just for Tomb.
Love to.
Okay.
I
Well,
need to get back to being able to make it.
that's the thing, though. We used to be like every other week. And then I volunteered to put it every week while we were kind of wanting to do like movie Mondays with alternate shows,
Yeah.
but that seems to have fallen through.
It'll come back.
Okay.
That will come
So-
back. We're thinking like once a month we do the LA Picture Show, and then the other Mondays will be Tomb.
Okay. Well, it's just I took it to a week each, like every week now, because just to work through my grief
Yeah.
over the loss of my mom and various other people. Then before I took the bit of a break around September, I'm like, should we go back to every other week? And then Raz showed me the numbers and said, no, we're still
Yep.
weekly.
Yep.
So
Then I
I
was
was
supposed to start coming
surprised.
back more, and then my life went to shit.
it happens.
Yeah, a lot of things are sorted though. My time scheduling is starting to open up a lot more, especially now that we're coming out. And we're going right back into a temporary season for our weekend at the Haunt. But there's a difference between operating for a weekend and operating like every weekend. So
Right.
things are slowing down a lot. A lot of my duties are actually people are stepping up and taking some of them off my shoulders, which is fantastic news for me. I love doing all the things I'm doing, but when you're part of a team and you see that someone is more capable than you are of certain things, you want
Mhm.
those people on your team to do those things. Like that's how I am anyway. Like, it's always better with a team, and some people are really stepping up around here and taking some things off my shoulders. And
We have
that's
an audio visual team now.
we have a whole team. I've even got a team of people helping me with the commercials and everything. We filmed all 3 commercials in one day.
We have an entire party
Nice.
committee now.
Yeah, like so things are going a lot better as far as that goes, and time constraints and stuff. So
Yay.
that'll all be getting better from
Yeah.
now on. And plus, I only got one class and 3 weeks left of this class to finish my master's before I start the other one.
Yay.
Nifty.
So he needs to find a retreat.
Yeah, I have to go on a retreat for at least a week to cover the last thing that I haven't covered for requirements to graduate.
Although I do have a request of you guys since you're here. Can you make a video of you reading one of your poems and send it to me?
If you remind me heavily, yes.
It's
Okay.
going to be very low quality.
No, we can do it in StreamYard.
I'm
You can
sorry.
always do it in StreamYard, and
Yeah.
then I can have it here with me.
Okay.
Yeah,
Otherwise, I can do it. I can do it on my Android, but yeah, I don't really. I'm not a visual guy.
Yeah.
Normally.
No. What we'll do is we'll pick a day for us to come in, not a broadcasting day or whatever, a time when we're not broadcasting. We'll pop in here. Whoever's reading, we'll put them up, like make them giant on the screen and record it. And we'll do each of them. And then I'll yank the file and I'll actually edit it down and make it look pretty.
Okay, great.
Ooh.
And then if you can put them on the YouTube, I can download them and put them everywhere else.
It'll be easy to do. It won't take long to do either.
Awesome.
My new computer, I got really chews through doing videos, man. Everything is 10 times quicker than it used to be.
And Facebook and Instagram have figured out their bullshit where they've made it easier to use the scheduling app to put stuff on both. So
Oh, nice.
that's made my life so much easier with that. It's just the other apps are just still being aggravating, but I'm trying to learn new ones as we go, like Blue Sky. And
I
you
still
are
haven't been doing those.
required, if you're going to do a review on IMDb, it cannot be less than 6,000 characters.
Yes. That I didn't know.
Huh. I can easily blow through that.
Yeah.
I learned a lot of new things today. I just figured I'd randomly apparently hit my mic and tell you guys.
New things are good.
Guys.
I started a new podcast today.
Oh,
Ooh.
yeah. Tell them about that because I'm excited about listening to that.
So I found a podcast just completely randomly. It's called Haunted Road. And it's Amy Burney, who
Great
used
one.
to, she used to do Ghost Hunters and the show Kindred.
Yeah.
That did all like the paranormal investigations and stuff. So she goes through the history of certain paranormal places and all that. Like episode 1 was, I was just telling Raz about this. It was the Valeska Axe Murder House. And then the second episode was Lizzie Borden, not the house that the murder happened in, but the one that she bought when she got acquitted. Maple Gate or whatever that was. And like episode 3, which is the one I was listening to before we started the podcast, is the Oddfellows compound. So yeah, they're just doing a whole bunch of different stuff like that. It's actually really great.
Oh, yeah.
So like the first episode, even though they're talking about the Valeska murder house, they actually go into, I forget the guy's name. I know his first name's Robert, but it's actually one of the paranormal investigators that like incited the spirit when he was doing an investigation, and he ended up blacking out. And when he came to, he had a knife buried in his shoulder or whatever. And like it's really interesting. I've had a lot of fun with it. Like I was halfway through the first episode and I'm sending Raz a text going, "Hey, you need to check out this podcast." It's really awesome. I've been enjoying it.
Oh, yeah. I can check it out later, man.
Oh yeah, definitely you'll like it.
What I know about Iowa ghosts is they do tend to get stabby.
Yeah. Very stabby.
Yeah.
And hi, Stefan's
Yeah.
mom.
Okay. The link is in the chat, and the link is also in the padded cell group if you wish to find it. I
Nice.
do definitely recommend the books she has done, the shows she has done, and that and The Haunted Road. I love them. I will look up just about anything haunted house-wise. You were gonna say something, Uncle Necro?
I forget what I was going to say. But I don't know. It's December 1st. So
Wrong
think of
robot.
this as you know, the first day of the Advent season leading up to Christmas. And of course, I've decided to go through and do little shorts on my own podcast, the Movies and Beer Equals podcast. I just posted one up tonight. It was kind of like a slapdash thing. I just woke up from a nap and went, this would be cool. And then just quickly recorded something, got, captured the trailer and everything, slapped together. Takes about 15, 20 minutes to do this. So.
Is it the one you did for Anna and the Apocalypse?
Yep.
That was a fun movie, man.
Oh, yeah. Really great songs. Get stuck in your head.
Oh, big time. I haven't seen it since it first came out, actually. I'm going to have to watch it
No,
again.
we watched it together a couple years
When
ago.
it first came out.
Was it just?
Yeah, it's not that old of a movie, honey.
2017.
Yeah, 2017.
No, we watched it with the kids too.
Oh, yeah, you're right. You're right.
So we have watched it more recently.
I'll have to watch it again, though. I don't like Christmas movies much, but I will watch that one.
That's a good Christmas movie.
Oh, yeah.
I'm actually really excited for next year at Christmas because they are officially doing a reboot of Silent Night, Deadly Night.
Oh,
Yeah, I
The
heard
whole
about
franchise. It's already almost done. It's already got a release date for next
you
Christmas.
say the whole franchise, like the last movie was anything related to the fucking franchise at all?
Well, actually, the last movie they did, Silent Night, was sort of one. And that was the last one they made, and that was years ago.
The one that had like
What about the Mafia?
I can't remember.
They did it.
hookers and
No, it was Mafia versus Witches.
yeah,
Yeah, that was
hookers, those-
that franchise got really off
that was
track.
Weird.
Okay. Please tell me they're keeping in Garbage Day.
I have no idea.
I hope they do.
It's something that they've been talking a lot about.
I mean, it's iconic.
It is.
Oh no, the hookers one I was thinking of is Ghoulies. The last Ghoulies?
Oh, the College Ghoulies one.
No, not the College Ghoulies one. The College Ghoulies one wasn't too bad.
That was
It was
3.
the
That's the
one-
last one they made.
No, 2 was the College.
It was College. 2 was Carnival. I know me some Ghoulies.
I don't remember. It was the
They
weird
really
one
need to
because
make-
the Ghoulies were like little people instead of like
Oh, that wasn't Ghoulies. I'll remember what it is. Give me a few. I'll
The
remember.
Gate. The Gate.
I think it was Munchies 2. No, it wasn't Munchies 2. Wasn't the Gate.
That was a big year for like small demon things.
It
Oh my
was,
God,
but
yeah.
the Gate's still, like, in my opinion, the number one of those. That's one
Oh,
of my
yes.
favorite movies of all time.
But I was going to say
Bubble
that
Wrap,
the Ghoulies franchise needs to at least go into space at least once.
yes.
They haven't made a
Just-
Ghoulies movie since like end of 80s, very beginning of 90s.
Like
I know,
they
but
died
Blumhouse-
without going in space.
Leprechaun's been in space.
Yep.
I mean, Blumhouse, get on this. This is
Yep.
up your alley.
I mean, a lot of people went to space, but oddly, the one that began in space, it killed the franchise when it went to space originally. And that was Critters.
Yes, it did.
Yeah.
The fourth Critters movie was in space, and it flopped so bad they canceled the franchise. And then other people brought it back, like what, 5 years ago?
Oh my gosh.
And they did a movie and a TV show.
They did the direct TV shorts, which was like a TV show. But
Yeah, it was a limited series. Each one was like, I think, like
10,
5,
15 minutes, maybe 5, 10.
I think they were 5 to 7 minutes long each episode, but it was
And
amusing.
then they did the movie with Dee Wallace.
Yep, and the movie.
And people thought it was a legacy movie, but it was not a legacy movie because she was not the mom from the
Yep,
first
she
movie.
played a different character.
Exactly. I know me some critters.
Yeah, we love some critters over here. We're here for the Krites.
Anytime we go to a con,
It's actually funny because her ringtone is the rock band that played that song. What was it called?
Power of the
Yeah,
Night.
Power of the Night is her ringtone from Critters 1.
That is his ringtone for me.
So when she calls me, that's what plays on my phone.
Huh.
Everyone else gets Unsolved Mysteries.
It was the first movie series we watched together as a couple.
It was, yeah. It was that and then Return of the Living Dead.
I mean, it was Easter weekend. Of course, you got to watch them.
Yeah, if you're not watching Critters for Easter, what's wrong with you?
Exactly. And Return of the Living Dead because Jesus was a zombie.
Yeah. Okay.
That
I feel like I have to say this now because, like, Raz knows. Raz, Mom's gonna tell you that's wrong.
I know.
You can't say
I didn't
that.
say it though, did I?
Hey,
Okay.
he's the one who always
No,
said
you
it.
didn't. She did, but
I didn't say it this time.
was really, yeah. But every time he said it around my mother would go into like a 30-minute preach session at the both of them. So I have to kind of chime in and say it because I know if I don't, she's gonna go back and watch this on Facebook, and I'm gonna have to hear it alone.
No. She will get in the same place as you and make you call me. You know she will.
So
I know.
I'm congregational, so I'm not going to preach at you, but I'm going to look at you very disapprovingly.
Fair enough. See that? He's looking at you disapprovingly.
Okay,
That works.
to be fair, he's the one who said it so many times that it's
she's
just
right.
stuck
It's
with
my
me.
fault.
It's all his fault.
I guess the
It's okay.
rules
My
on
mom's gonna know it's
resurrection is
his
a little bit
fault.
blurry.
My mom's gonna
Although-
know it's his fault, but she's still gonna make us all listen to it. That's how this works.
Yep.
Okay, so fun fact, and this is where our 18 and over only warning comes into effect.
How late after dark?
The weirdest, most blasphemous thing a friend has ever sent me was like 3 a.m, but she sent me because she found it hilarious. This AI generated picture of Jesus butt fucking some guy and with the caption "Jesus is coming." It's very, very graphic. She sent it to me and I'm like, what is this? What?
You know the worst one I've ever seen. It's not quite as bad as that. It was zombie Jesus fucking a rabbit. And it was an Easter thing.
Okay.
Yeah. That was probably the most blasphemous thing I've ever seen.
What was that horror anthology movie that featured one from each holiday? And the Easter one was basically Jesus with bunny ears.
Oh, Holidays.
I think it was called Holidays.
Okay.
The one on Netflix.
Yeah.
That was pretty creepy. I will
Yeah.
admit that.
Seth Green is in that.
Yeah, he is.
I'm going to have to rewatch that actually.
Where's a good one?
I just sent you a picture.
I know. I can't put it upload to the group right now.
I know.
I will later, though. It's a turtle related image. It's very funny.
Roses are red. Pigs cannot fly. Tortoise attempts escape because fuck you. That's why.
Yep. It's a poem and it's a news picture of a turtle trying to climb a fence. It's succeeding.
It gets you right here, doesn't it?
It does.
Hmm.
Right in the shell.
Alrighty. In case you aren't a part of the group, you can find his movies and beer, and you can find the other link we were talking about, the haunted road. Haunted road. That is the word
Okay.
I'm looking for. Words escape me.
I thought there were links to the images that we were describing. I'm like, we might not want to post those.
No, if you wish to post them in the group, I'm not.
Yeah, wait for Christmas.
I just want people to be able to find those things because I love those things.
Today's
How do you start a riot?
give me 5 minutes.
I'm aware.
So
Depends on the group of
continuing
people.
on with my train of thought,
Yes.
Odetta Holmes, what kind of pizza would she be?
Yeah, Holmes.
That I believe was one of the split personalities of Susanna before she.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, I'm trying to.
Yeah.
Yeah, but she was lacking, so I'm gonna say she is a thin crust new Philly from Domino's because it has no sauce, dries up at the edges, and it's kind of crusty.
I'm gonna go with a Cajun New Yorker.
Okay. I consider her more of a Totino's.
Ooh, that's accurate. I like it.
Any way you slice it.
Yes. I can't think
Did
of a
you
better
eat-
way to describe it.
Okay. Okay. So the Crimson King.
Ooh. Oh. Okay. So, man, that one, whatever that is on a buttery pan crust. I'm just letting you know.
Is there a
Like,
red sauce? I'm thinking red sauce.
yeah,
'Cause-
definitely red sauce. But
I'm-
like, mm,
I'm gonna say Schrodinger's Pizza. Because, and I say this because you don't even really see the Crimson King until the very last book, and it's for a couple seconds, and you're only assuming that it's him. But it might not be him because he
Couple of
can't look
eyeballs.
properly because he's afraid to, like look over at him and to get, his attention. So he's Schrodinger's Pizza.
And he ends up to be eyeballs anyway.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Deep cut. No pun intended.
Ooh.
Father Callahan.
Oh.
now
Are we
see,
talking
here's
That's a working man's
before?
pizza.
Are we talking before he finds Roland's world or after we find Roland's world?
That's a good point.
After we're talking about the gunslinger. So
okay. So after he is going to be the most decadent pizza I can think of. And that is going to be, I don't know if any of you guys have ever had it, but there is an apple cinnamon dessert pizza.
Yeah.
That is, oh,
See,
that one right there.
to
Yeah.
me, like Father Callahan, he's not that complex of a character initially, right? Like the original version of him, I would consider a classic, good old fashioned pepperoni pizza. But now that he's experienced Roland's world, I'm gonna have to go with the spicy cupping pepperoni pizza.
But here's the thing, and this is why I said he's the dessert pizza. Because you're right. At the beginning, he is very, very kind of
He's good old reliable Jake,
plain. Yeah. He's but he's down to earth. He's simple. And the thing about that apple cinnamon pizza is it in theory it's simple because what is it? It's apples, it's cinnamon, it's this, it's bread. It should be simple, but when you put it all together, it is just kind of like this rich conflagration of unum, which is what that character becomes.
Yeah.
So
That's fair.
well,
it's that's why I say that.
I always thought of Father Callahan as basically any kind of pizza from Papa John's. I don't put my faith in it, and it falls apart easily.
Yeah. And the only thing really good about it is the sauce. 'Cause, he was an alcoholic, so it kind of fits.
Yeah, you need the sauce.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. If you're making the apple pie pizza in the South, we add whiskey sometimes to the crust
Yes.
and sometimes
Yes.
to the apples.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
you got
No,
the sauce
I love sweet
there.
apples.
Look, the best apples that you get down here that are apple cinnamon flavor, somebody has boiled them bitches in Fireball. Just saying.
I feel like not doing that would be a problem.
Because you put whiskey in the crust and you put Fireball in the apples.
I'll dip my balls in it.
Fair enough.
Wow. That needs to be a catchphrase of some sort.
It
I
is
dip
actually.
my
I
balls in
stole it from somewhere.
Hmm.
I can't remember if it was MTV's The State. I think it was MTV's The State or Kids in the Hall. There was a character that would always go around. It was this constant skit where he would just run around and go, "I'll dip my balls in it." And then they actually
It's
did a
Kids in the
version
Hall.
of. Thank you. They did a version that was at the Last Supper. And he was pissed because he wasn't getting any attention because now Jesus wanted his thing to be, I'm going to dip my balls in it. And he took his catchphrase, and then the catchphrase died after that. Well, there was multiple skits of I'll dip my balls in it. It's from the 90s. And just type in I'll dip my balls in it, 90s. Well, I mean, maybe you don't want to type in that wording, but I mean, I would.
Make sure the save search is on.
Maybe add sketch comedy. There you go. That'll hopefully help.
Oh
Maybe.
yeah, it's all in how you. And that brings another question. When you say titty sprinkles, are we talking about the herb? Or are we talking about the not so the other edible parts that you add to titties?
Well, what came up was essentially the candy sprinkles
Mhm.
on the titties.
Yeah.
They're covered up.
I had both. So hey, let's find out what that is. Okay.
Oh, now you're looking it up?
No, I'm looking at the private message, and I agree totally with
okay.
her message. Oh, I've already
Okay,
looked it up.
okay.
That's why I have the question of, is it the herb titty sprinkles, or is it the
I didn't know there was an herb.
glue she uses?
Tell me about this herb.
I don't know anything about this herb. I just know you can smoke it.
Oh,
And
the
it's
strain of weed titty
Oh.
sprinkles. Oh no, I have some of that. Is that what I just smoked? No, I have a bunch of those right now. I actually got a bunch of titty sprinkle pre-rolls from Michigan. Like just because of the name, and it was a stupid high percent.
Wow.
And it was very cheap, so I'm like, oh, okay.
Okay. That helps. Anyway,
Today was a very special day.
yes.
I released a book today.
Yes. I told
Congratulations.
you congratulations on multiple platforms.
Yeah, I need to do a show with somebody for this book.
Yes, you do. I'm just waiting for you to tell me what day is fine for you.
Oh, today is fine. I'm joking.
Hopefully-
Right
we'll
now,
figure it
what
out.
are we doing?
No, I'll figure. We'll talk about it after the show. Yeah, no, definitely though. Do you want to tell them what the name of it is?
Okay, Tales from Riverside.
Dun, dun,
And the best
dun.
part, it is the Shadow of Harshman house. And my favorite part is he put Sophia in it. And we all know how much I love little Sophia, who's not so little anymore. And her two best friends, Screech and Zeke. And she makes friends with them in the new town. And they figure out what to do and how to combat the shadows of Harshman house.
Mhm.
We loved it. We enjoyed it. The kids had so much fun. They razzed each other, for lack of a better word, while we were reading it.
Mhm.
And Dante just sat there and he asked questions. What is that? So I have to stop and explain what the words meant and then continue.
Mhm.
And it was just a great family read.
It
And
was a lot of
so-
fun. You're right, man. Like honestly, like knowing that going into this story, I knew that Sophia was the main character because we talked about that. I literally wrote this because of Sophia, and she wanted it to be Shadow People. I'm like, all right, the first one will be Shadow People, and I do want to take a moment to officially announce that this is going to be a series. Tales from Riverside is going to be the kids' version of my Riverside books and stories. I've officially decided that it's really important that I do that because I really enjoy doing these books, not just to bring light to young readers during Children's Book Week, but just generally just to get kids excited about reading again. It's important. So many teenagers these days don't even fucking read, and it bothers me. So I can't really complain about it unless I'm contributing fun stuff for younger readers.
I appreciate that because that is the main thing my kids are trying to find fun horror books for their age. And this has been one of my favorite birthday experiences ever. Thank you for such a great birthday.
No problem, man.
Hi.
Oh, she's pooping in. I mean, popping in to say hi.
She says congratulations, and well, we hope you feel better soon. Been there, done that, curled up in a ball on
We
the
missed
bathroom
you.
floor.
Yeah.
Miss you, Duffy.
Oh, and since we are talking about book releases, tomorrow our wonderful Patty has her newest Littlest Fairy book coming out, where she ends up going off. I should know. I've just posted this book everywhere. She goes off and she gets lost, and she doesn't tell her mom where she's going. Hold on, I'll be able to tell you the name once this loads, because my brain just decided to die. The Littlest Fairy, Book 2. Sorry, I have been trying to get social media to do what it needs to. And my brain just died. Okay, there it is. Where's My Sugar? Where's My Sugar, Book 2, and she has to figure out how to get back home and what to do how to get back to mommy. So yes, this is going to be a great kids week.
It's going to be awesome. I can't
And
wait. I'm plunged into darkness once again. Means I got to move to their side of the car. I will in
and
a minute.
Sophia has told all the people she can. She has told people online in her games. She has told cousins. So I know for a fact that you will love Raz's book. And it's Where's My Sugar is a great way to help talk with your tiniest ones on what to do if you get lost. And I can honestly say, the one time Sophia got lost, we were trick or treating at the big event in Navasota, and she decided to look at something, and I had 3 other kids with me, and I looked away from her for a minute to make sure I had all of them at the next table, and then she disappeared. And then I look around, and then she did just as she thought. She found a police officer she knew, and she went to go stand with him. And he kept her with him until I could get over. So I appreciate him, and I appreciate the fact that she listened and she understood and she did as she was supposed to. Yes, I come from Navasota. We talked about this before, actually.
Yep.
So yeah, there's a lot of beautiful things in Navasota. There's a lot of beautiful things here.
Guess what I'm going to start working on this week?
What?
The audiobook for Riverside Chronicles.
Mom will appreciate that.
Yeah. I've been thinking a lot about which one to do first, and that just feels like the smartest and easiest one to do first, and kind of make sure I'm doing everything right.
Mhm.
I'm sure I'll have a lot to officially announce soon, but lots of many things. I've been releasing a lot of information actually online lately about writing and shit.
Oh yeah, I've been trying to keep up and share it to other places.
Yeah, I'll go on my page and I'll realize that you already have, so I'll just pop in there and make an edited note real quick.
That's helpful.
But yeah, no, like they did the Mr. Jones and You and Rorschach and Tea Leaves just got narrated. That was fantastic. Fantastic narrations, honestly. We got links to those everywhere out already. They're easy to find. We posted them everywhere. You're going to want to check that out to support that Chilling Tales, man. Seriously.
Chilling Tales for Dark Night is amazing. They have so many great narrators. And yes, as we go into the Christmas season, they have great, fun, scary Christmas tales. Oh, speaking of Christmas season, Uncle Necro, you have a list. Did you have time to do the thing with the list?
Right now? No, because it's on my other computer.
Okay, no, I'm asking if you had already posted. If you have not posted it, I'll wait.
I have not posted it now.
Okay,
Now,
because I hope
I do have a question. Do I just put the list there, or do I do a little blurb after, like, explaining myself why I like this one?
you don't have to do one for each movie. You can say, "Hey, I was requested to give a list or something, or these are a lot of movies that I like for the Christmas time of year, and this is my suggested list." Give it an Uncle Necro spin for an intro, and then post it as is, and then I'm going to share it everywhere and watch them. Make Josh do what I normally do.
Wrong lever
Okey-dokey.
again.
Because we need the Uncle Necro list. I hope at some point we get a Raz and a Mariah list.
List of what?
Your favorite Christmas themed movies that don't necessarily have to be holly and jolly.
Okay, so that's gonna start fight.
No, it's not. There's simple
Yeah.
solutions to this. No, we discussed this last year, actually here on Allight, and I'll remind everyone of this. A Christmas movie means that Christmas is somehow integral to the plot of the movie. That's it. Which means, yes, Die Hard is a Christmas movie.
He said it, I didn't. But yes.
No, let me explain why, though, because I feel like I have some pretty solid fucking reasoning on this. Okay.
Because it is.
I mean, it is, but the reason why, like, everybody that argues with me, I bring up this point. For everything to have gone the way it needed to go, people needed to be very distracted. There is no time of year or any kind of party in a corporate setting that's as distracting as Christmas. That could have only been successful during a Christmas holiday event at a big business like that. Period. That's the only kind of party that would even work for this. So without that being specifically a Christmas party, everything that went down the way it went down could not have happened.
I have said it's a Christmas movie for years. I had arguments about this with people when we were RPing on AOL way back in the day, and everybody's like, "No, it's not." I'm like, "Yes, it is. Yes, it motherfucking is." It has been the source of many a fight. But yeah, okay, I can make my list. Like, it's just I know some stuff on my list makes people go, "No."
Okay.
Yeah, Exorcist 3, I agree with.
So basically, the main character spray paints ho 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 on a corpse, meaning he's aware it's Christmas. He makes reference to the Christmas.
Yeah.
It's a Christmas movie.
Yeah.
Ipso facto.
Now
Yeah,
I have
that's you.
machine gun.
More
Now,
ammunition.
Here's a question. I can't remember if we brought it up, but the first Addams Family movie.
Okay.
Specifically, it starts off with a live recreation of that classic Addams cartoon where the family is about to dump hot oil on a bunch of Christmas carolers.
Yeah.
You know, genius. Could have just, bravo, movie's over, see you later. It's not necessarily mentioned that the rest of it is set during Christmas, but since it was released around the Christmas season and it starts off with that classic scene, could you consider the first Addams Family movie to be a Christmas movie?
I would say no, because it being Christmas was in no way actually integral to the plot. That was just a Christmas cash grab, if anything.
Like, other than that
Yeah.
opening scene, it's not really referenced again. Not in any way, shape, form, or fashion.
That is unfortunate because I consider it a Christmas movie.
But to each their own. Like, it can be argued that it is because of that.
It's just a different classification. It's a movie that takes place during Christmas, not a movie where Christmas is integral to the plot. So technically, there's two different types of Christmas movies. So you could argue that it's technically still a Christmas movie because it takes place during Christmas.
Which also brings up Adam's Family Values. Is it a Thanksgiving movie?
Now, that one
Nice.
actually is because large points of that plot revolve around it being Thanksgiving, not just the play.
Well, the
And I
play
love
is
it.
set during the summer camp.
It is.
Yes, but
technically.
what did they choose for the play? Like that.
Right.
That was Wednesday's best speech. I'm sorry, it really was.
Yeah. And then the whole point of the movie, too, the family value part of like the togetherness, the family time, and the best way to represent that is literally Thanksgiving. So, like, I would say Thanksgiving was actually integral to the plot, even though the movie didn't take place during Thanksgiving. It's a weird example of it.
Eat me, da 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 da.
Like, I was talking about Critters earlier being something I watched during Easter. To me, that's just a movie that takes place during Easter, but Easter is integral to the plot of the second Critters, not the other ones, because they're actually painting them like Easter eggs, and that's how they're spreading throughout the town. Is someone is selling them as Easter eggs. So and the second one is the only one that's integral to the plot.
Curious.
None of the
it's
other
like-
ones have anything to do with
just
Easter. Only the
watched,
second one.
Gremlins. I consider Gremlins a Christmas movie.
That's because it is.
Oh yeah, most
Yeah.
definitely.
In both
But
ways,
there are
it's
some people that argue that it's not, and I'm like, well,
it's integral to the whole plot. Both of them actually, it's integral to the entire plot.
yeah, but people want to argue it's more about the creature, and I'm like, it's not. It's not. It never would have happened.
He would have never freaked out
Okay.
to get Billy something that crazy unless it was Christmas.
Yeah,
The dad is searching for the perfect Christmas gift for his son. Then after
Yeah.
that intro, we're hit with a classic 1960s girl group cover Christmas song. There's
Yeah.
snow everywhere, Christmas festoonery. At
Mhm.
one point, his mom is
Christmas
watching
giveaways at the
It's a
bank.
Wonderful, right? His
Yeah.
mom is watching It's a Wonderful Life on the television.
And right before
Do
she
you
gets
hear
attacked
what I
later,
hear?
yeah, that's what she's listening to when she gets attacked by the gremlins.
Oh, yeah.
Finn had never seen any of them, so we're about 3/4 of the way through the first one. When he comes back next down here, I'm going to make him watch the rest of the first one and then the second one, because the first time ever we're featuring a character from a Gremlins movie in the Haunt for the holidays.
Really?
My nephew, little Evan, had on a red sparkly dress that we just found in the Haunt. And it was this whole thing and this wig. And I looked at him, I was like, dude, you look like fucking Greta from Gremlins 2 right now. And he's like, what the fuck is that? So I showed him a picture and everybody's like, oh my God. So he's agreed to let us paint him green, wear the dress and do the wig and actually be Greta for our cinema night, which is the first night of Christmas on Friday the 13th.
Excellent.
So yeah, our first Gremlins, I'm really excited to have a Gremlins rep in here, man.
And who's playing Robert Picardo?
No one.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm doing Beetlejuice on that night.
I
I've
feel
really been
like
talked into it, and I'll be Beetlejuice all night. So my job is weird because I don't act in the scene anymore. I just jump out and do things if I want to wear a character, in random places. With Beetlejuice, everybody fucks with me, and they will randomly shout Beetlejuice 3 times in the room, which means I'm gonna have to just run to wherever they are and pop out of a wall somewhere. And I know they're gonna torture me with it. That's one of the reasons why I stopped doing it so much before. But I do have a Lydia this year, so that's helpful.
I feel like
Please
because
remember,
we are mentioning.
I needed to borrow you
these
for like 20 minutes.
I don't know if it can be 20, but I'm going to get in makeup and costume before anyone else does that day because it's easier that way if I'm already in it. So I'll be able to sit down with you for a little bit.
Yes, and it's a quick book. It's like no more than 10 pages and a few words.
Yeah, I can do that.
And you will make this one kid who you have already made happy even happier for
Always.
that for Christmas present.
And I've been working on The Voice a lot since the second movie, especially. I'm pretending right now that the sequel movie didn't happen.
Alrighty.
Or it happened in a different universe. It's in no way at all really attached to the first one. That's the only way I can enjoy it.
Was it that bad?
No, here's the problem. The original one was a horror film that at the last minute they dumbed down to make it passable. It's not a horror film. If you read the original script of Beetlejuice, it was a lot more fucked up intense. It was beautiful. I own a signed copy of that one. And then this one, instead of starting in a place of horror and inappropriate jokes, just started as a fucking family kids movie, and they cut out a lot of what could have been his inappropriate jokes from the first one. There were some of them there, but they weren't the same. They weren't even delivered the same way. Like, he was infinitely less dirtier than he ever was before. It was the whitewash version of Beetlejuice, basically. But I mean, it is a very fun movie. There's a lot of lore extension that's really cool. It's a fun movie, but it not for any of the reasons why I like Beetlejuice, and that's my issue. But I do recommend watching it. I have these squashmallows of. Good.
I was just going to say, I wonder what made them choose MacArthur Park.
I don't know.
BJ.
Bologna jelly?
On that note,
Yeah, Jenny knows she's going to teach us all about blowjobs.
Oh,
Lord.
first and foremost, you should know about your gag reflex. Whether or not you have one.
And
practice on a hot dog. Practice on a footlong.
You don't want to be pulling a Hello Wendy on your date, you know? Hello
And
Wendy.
then- Oh yes, BJ meaning Beetlejuice, and the really funny thing is, there have been people who practice on bananas and confuse their friends, and that was hilarious. I was not expecting that to pop up in the book.
Is
You
it
never know what's going
literally
to
a
pop up in a book.
Yeah, especially this one story you have coming up. I'm still waiting to see what pops up in that one.
I kind of want to do a pop-up book. I'm not gonna lie. I've been fucking with Fred and Sean. They don't read a lot, and I was like, I'm gonna make a pop-up book for you guys, a horror pop-up book. And they're like, oh, we'll definitely look at that. So now I feel like at some point in time I have to make one.
Dude, I want Necro's story, Little Raz, as a story. That's
Very
printable.
much.
Like
Very much.
published
Yes.
stuff?
I think you should literally put like art and everything with that shit. I think you should publish it, dude. That would be fucking awesome.
I'm really
I'd
not
get a
much
kick
of an
out of it.
artist.
So
You know
we
plenty of
can-
people that are. We'll help you figure it out.
All right. Yeah,
Oh, by
that
the way-
should be a pop-up.
That'd be funny. I think I want to do Mr. Jones and You as a pop-up. That would be fucked up.
I'll wait.
Yes.
I love that he put the pauses in too. That made me laugh so hard.
A zombie porno pop-up book. Wow.
A zombie porno pop-up book.
Dude, you could make a pop-up book where pieces are meant to fall off, and then you could call it Larry the Leper. Parts sold separately.
Yes.
damn it.
Action figures where you have to buy like 5 or 6 of them to get a whole nother character.
Oh no. You have to go back and listen to some of the episodes of LA Radio where we were doing the audio drama, because some of the commercial breaks in there from my old band Freak, and we actually do Bible action figures. So why carry your cross to the desert when you can ride it? That's right, this crucifix turns into a dinosaur. Roar. There's a Malibu Mary's beach house playset where the hot tubs are filled with holy water because there's no room at the end. And then there was Larry the Leper part sold separately.
As far
I
as
can't
something
believe
that
that shit
actually
story.
exists, there is a crucifix Transformers toy that transforms into Robot Jesus.
Okay, that's fucking epic. I kind of want this.
I'll need to find the ad on YouTube sometime.
I need to get a new Buddy Christ statue because I used to have one from Dogma, and Dogma 2 is about to come out or going to be coming out. They're making it now, and so I want it. I want the robot Jesus cross right next to my Buddy Christ, and I feel like that would be a good time.
Yeah, my sister's so happy about that. She's sent me a few of the promos.
For Dogma
Like,
2. Everybody's coming back too. Apparently, even Alanis Morissette.
Ooh.
Wow, I'm amazed because apparently didn't Kevin Smith kind of have an issue with the lead actress?
There's a long story about that. So I'm not really sure because I mean he's had some issues on and off. I mean there for a while Ben Affleck wouldn't come back, but it wasn't because of his relationship with him so much. It was because of some relationship issues. Because before he got with and divorced Jennifer Lopez, he was with what's her name from Alias?
The other Jennifer
Garner.
Yeah, Jennifer Garner. When he was with her, I guess he doesn't like her. Her and Kevin Smith do not get along, apparently. So that's why he didn't come back and why they ended up stalling Mallrats 2 and made Clerks 3 instead. So now they're going back and Ben Affleck's back again. Of course, you know, Matt Damon's back also to do Dogma 2. And then he's hoping to do Mallrats 2 after that.
Metatron can't come back, though.
And that's the saddest part of the whole fucking thing is no Alan Rickman.
Yeah, that makes me.
But look at Rufus.
Yes. Let's talk about something happy like leprosy. Have you had anything fall off lately?
Yes.
You asked that
My
question.
penis is missing again. It's detachable. These kind of things happen all the time.
Deja vu.
Do you have any idea how many times I was asked that question as a child?
By who?
Well, are you a leper? And have you lost anything lately?
I've lost plenty of things, and I've actually been able to get a whole lot of things back. So
That's good.
Hence why U-Haul and I are. I'm very confused about U-Haul, and I'm very confused about Utah.
Yeah, Utah. They're the same thing. It's all different.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm confused. Did you move?
A while ago.
No. I moved about at least a year and a half ago, okay? And then, but I couldn't bring everything because I didn't have the ability. And there were extra people added. So I couldn't bring all 8 people's stuff. So a lot of things were put into storage. And then we found a way to be able to do that. It just took 3 weeks after we were able to find a way to finance everything. And then, because they kept just randomly sending the U-Hauls that we would have set up to somewhere else. And then finally, Josh re-put in, and then they called about 2 hours afterwards. We're not sure if we're going to be able to have the U-Haul. And he's like, seriously, I've been trying to do this for 3 weeks, and I am a previous customer. Why don't I matter? They finally fixed it. We had a U-Haul, and we were able to get everything done. The only thing that hurt more than we expected were gas prices. So
yeah.
That hurt a whole lot because that was a 6-hour round trip plus the time to put everything in the truck at the 2 different places, and then to bring all the stuff to the one place where we have everything together.
Yeah.
So Friday hurt a lot.
Yeah, moving is a real pain in the ass.
Tell me about it, especially when you have no notice.
Yeah. And you have to go somewhere sight unseen, and you find out they lied about a room.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I'm hoping there's a move in my very, very near future.
I am
No
praying to
information on that
every
yet,
deity
but
that
you
will
know.
listen.
Do what?
I am praying to every deity that will listen.
And I have my very own Cthulhu in the Haunt to pray to now, so that's always a plus.
That is good. Yeah,
I finally unplugged him. I left him plugged in, so when people were randomly working through the haunt in the dark, he would just pop on and move his lantern and fuck with people and talk to them. Somebody finally unplugged it the other day.
Dude,
It was the only prop in the whole haunt that was plugged in and powered. Like I just left it that way.
definitely want to see that.
He's 10 foot tall. His wings flex and move. His tentacles move a little bit, and he looks at you and he talks to you. And he's like, he moves his lantern and shines in your face and talks to you. And I can plug him into an external speaker to make him louder, which I'm totally going to do.
Yes, and
Hmm.
please get video and put it on the thing.
That was one of the best things I've ever spent my money on in my life. That was a $500 giant animatronic prop that they had on sale for like 75 or 75% off. So I kind of could not do it at that point. I also bought the really cool monster zombie teddy bear that balances on the ball from Spirit. I got that too. That was really cheap.
I love my Beetlejuice thing.
And if you happen to be into a Spirit this year and you notice that whole carnival setup they had throughout the whole store, we kind of have 3 complete sets of that entire display disassembled in one of our rooms down here because we love Spirit people and they love us.
Nice.
And
But-
yes, we do need a picture of your bobblehead.
Yes.
Uh,
Is that code
what
for
I
penis?
wouldn't do for
I hope
No.
not.
Okay.
but I'm always tempted to buy at least like one child animatronic that, come play with me, and when activated it comes at you.
Oh man, we got like 3 or 4 of those. We got one that's a pair of sisters on swings. We got one that's a single girl on a swing, one that's on a teeter-totter, and we just got this new one this year. She's got she's holding a teddy bear. And when she talks, she says like sort of normal things, and then she gets possessed and her eyes turn red and she rips the teddy bear's head off. And she says like 6 or 7 different things, I think. She's fucking terrifying. We just got her like towards the beginning of the season and put her in the hunt.
Wow. Well, you see, back when I lived in the Victorian in Omaha, what I wanted to do was figure out to rig a way to, if there were new people who were renting inside the house, rig a way to have like one of those laser kind of sensor things that you always find at, say, stores and such, and have it when you trip it when you walk by a certain place in the house, like right by a darkened like sitting room, one of the bigger ones that are in there that you have to pass by. Have the light off, but have a trigger where it starts playing, children start to giggle.
Yeah. That'd be easy to do. Those things are like, you can get those sensor things for like maybe $10-15.
Mm-hmm.
Those cheap sensor things are what we used for a lot of our sensor things. We just, Sean's really good at attaching them to big props too. So like you can have something like completely come to life with it. It's nuts. You just audio, you can do an actual animatronic, you do all kinds of things with those nowadays.
Mm.
It's very neat.
That is amazing.
Just in lieu of, say, invader alarm. Just scare the crap out of the invader.
We got this new thing. It's this little box, and I think it was like maybe $20. You can record something on it, so it'll say whatever you want, and it's a sensor. So like it's all in one little unit. It's really cheap, and all we did was I recorded what he wanted on it, and put it on the little micro SD card that slips into the box. and we mounted the box on the wall as you exit the haunt. And now it's me in a demon voice saying, so you've survived Hell's Dungeon. We'll try harder next time. Or something I forget. It's something like that. So now everyone I think it didn't even work like the last couple of weekends we were open, but now when you exit on, you say that. But you could do that. You could get one of those, get the audio on that little micro SD and just put one of those up. And they're so small you can hide them, so they wouldn't even know what the fuck was triggering, which would be hilarious.
Nice. See, I figure instead of just your standard, like I live alone. And sometimes when you read and you watch horror for as long as I have, sometimes, especially in my old age, my mind starts to think, this could be a bad place for like a zombie to start walking at me.
Mm-hmm.
But, having unwanted visitors, first of all, I would notice when somebody drives up, it's really hard to sneak into this place.
Right.
Because it's a large farm. You have to actually be seen before you get over here. I would notice. However, if they somehow do, I don't want to just like loud noises. I think everybody's immune to loud noises by now. However, giggling ghost children, having an animatronic come at you. Give me enough time to go after them naked with a baseball bat.
What you do is you put posts ever so often up the drive, and you get those those Ring doorbell cameras, like the cheap version of them, not the actual name brand, because you don't want to spend that much money. You put one on each of the posts along with the sound box. You have one do the creepy children. You have one just the sound of a fucking chainsaw and someone screaming. There's some really awesome shit you could do, and I guarantee that would buy you plenty of time.
If they don't turn around first.
Oh yeah, and SIC too. I've got one of the characters' properties is so long that she's got cameras like that all the way up and down the drive. I mean, they don't have the sound boxes or anything. That's her alert system to living in her property alone.
And Friday, I tend to disagree. I believe souls taste more like marshmallow peeps.
So they're disgusting and melt easily in the microwave?
They're tasty. And they caramelize when you stick them in the fire.
I'm also anti-marshmallow.
Okay.
So what do souls taste like to you?
I don't know. I have to think about it.
Popcorn.
Dippin' Dots, maybe?
I do love me some fucking Dippin' Dots, man. I don't like ice cream that much, but I love Dippin' Dots.
But his candy canes are metal AF, and I'm like, I usually have something playing off souls, so.
Do you know where candy canes were invented?
Why?
In the forges of hell? I don't know.
Ohio. Look it up.
Everything just comes from Ohio.
Gingerbread, Jeremy!
Hi, Jeremy.
Miss you, Jeremy.
Miss you.
I'm going to kidnap you one day soon, Jeremy. Oh, yes. And I'm going to play your song and make you dance. Although my current board doesn't have that song, which makes me sad, but I can grab the sound clip just for you.
I don't remember which one it is.
So the other night, as I was kind of letting my mind wander, which is part of my writing process, I was listening to, I broke it out because, it was the day after Thanksgiving. And I was listening to the Christmas album that Midnight Syndicate put out.
Oh, yes.
Which is
that
just fantastic.
I actually got to bring these albums back out because I'm about to include them in the soundtrack for the new Christmas show. The HP Love. It's the one that's just a bunch of numbers. It's like 950 or something like that. I know it's on that board though.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Jeremy's song. The HP Lovecraft Historical Society Christmas albums. Have you ever heard those?
No.
Oh my god, they're amazing. It's beginning to look a lot like Fishmen is one of the songs. Seriously, it's all Cthulhu songs. They're the best albums for Christmas of all time, and they are worth the purchase. But you can
Why is
also
there-
hear all the tracks on YouTube.
Why has there never been like a collection where it's like Shadow over the North Pole?
There's several collections. These are actually albums that you can buy. They're full collections.
Oh, I'm talking about short stories.
Oh yeah.
Like
I mean, there's a
mashup
bunch
ones,
Oh, like mashup ones. That would be fun, I think. A lot of people do mashup ones.
Christmas themes. There was I don't know if you remember it was Shadows over Baker Street.
I'd heard of it, but I never got to read it.
I did. It's pretty good for the most part. Like Neil Gaiman, his story is a study in Emerald,
Okay.
which is pretty good. So
Oh yeah. It'd be fun to do though. I've done a few Christmas stories, but I did a version of what I think if "Oh Christmas Tree" was a story and not a song. I did that as a Christmas horror story years back, but I've never done one that's specific to like an existing story. Because I've only ever done 2 Christmas shorts, and the other one was just random.
Okay.
the child wakes up one morning, runs down to the Christmas tree, and he sees it has been redecorated with the entrails of his enemies.
Mine was family cuts down a Christmas tree. It's their tradition. Blah 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 blah. It unfortunately awakens one of the trapped Yule lads named Meat Hook. The original version of the Yule lads, before they were banned for terrifying children and families to celebrate Christmas, and so they made them much more lighthearted.
Aren't they all?
I like the
though?
original versions. Meat Hook was badass, and he in this story, Meat Hook grabs their dog and yanks into the tree and eats it. A neighbor, all kinds of shit. And they have to travel into the universe inside the tree that's like all pulsating flesh and weird shit. It was a weird story, but it was fun.
Now, in my various searchings of folklore and literature and such, there seems to be amongst many cultures the stories of kind of a fae folk known as the Red Caps.
Oh yeah, from the Sealy Court, on Sealy Court. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm wondering how that ties into, say, Santa's elves, or is
I mean, you can make a play for that. You could. Elves, traditional elves are more Sealy Court fae, though, because there's a thing for elves. There's like the traditional short, small version of elves, not the high fantasy elves, but those exist in the Sealy Court, and there's stories about them. They do wear hats. And they do go to war with the Red Caps. Red Caps are just mostly assassins for the unseelie fae, though, traditionally. But I think that'd be a fun mix-up to have like all the elves be replaced by the Red Caps. Like I have a more evil version of Santa that's not Krampus, something new. That'd be cool. That'd be a fun story. I love Red Caps. They're probably my favorite of the fae that no one really talks a lot about.
That would be great. I loved NJ Sullivan's Red Cap story. The character comes back from war and he's trying to acclimate back into the life he had before.
Yeah.
And the Red Caps take his girlfriend.
Yep. I did this story where there was a Red Cap living in an apartment building that took a girl who was she was blind. Yeah. That's a fucking weird story. I
Yeah.
don't even remember why I wrote that, but that was a fucking weird story. You ever write some shit and you're just like, when the fuck did I write this? I don't even remember writing it, and what the fuck was I on, or what was it even about in the first place?
the werefish.
All the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, a guy who was bit by a werefish, not just like a trout. So full moon, he turns into a trout. He has to call his girlfriend over to watch him while he's in the tub.
Okay.
One time they're on a date and they're at an aquarium when he forgets what time it is, and then moon starts to rise and he can feel the transformation coming up, and he's like, no, at least we're at an aquarium. So he jumps into a tank, but at the last minute he discovers he's jumped into the penguin enclosure.
Uh-oh. Those beady-eyed little bastards are going to kill him.
Oh yeah.
Penguins also have no souls. Much
Oh,
like
I
But
ginger.
they do have knees.
Do what?
But they do have knees.
Yeah. I spent a portion of my life terrified of penguins. It's a long story. There was acid involved. And Spoon Man and a giant top hat.
Don't
Yeah.
ever come to Martha's room on acid because of the gnomes.
No, yeah, see the gnomes. I have multiple stories with gnomes.
They're everywhere, and somehow she has integrated them into this house. And I'm like, how?
Your home is gnome powered. The worst part about my penguin thing is I don't know how many people remember this. There used to be a beer, what was it called? Something ice. Was it Bud Ice? They had the penguin commercial, the doobie doobie doo. Friends of mine, including Mariah over there, would call me and just go doobie doobie doo and send me into a fear fit and fuck with me and then hang up. And this got taken so far that Lucky put a penguin, a big, like huge penguin stuffed animal, on a remote control car and drove it into my living space and drove it around. And I chased it down and I killed it with an actual sword. I pulled it off the wall and ran the penguin through, and I murdered the penguin.
Huh.
And that helped me get over my fear of penguins. That and an unfortunate trip to an aquarium.
Penguins can be very helpful, actually.
They can be.
When we're walking on ice. We remember how the penguins walk. And it's kind of like that waddle thing where stiff leg, kind of pivot and just kind of do it that way. You won't fall down.
I feel like Mario taught me more about that, how to walk on ice, than penguins.
Okay. So what are your thoughts on Tennessee Tuxedo?
I have none.
Okay.
That's messed up, man. I did identify my true fear of penguins, though, were the macaroni penguins, because those are the ones that are truly the most evil of all.
How so?
Look at them. Have you seen one? What they look like recently? Like, do you have an image of a macaroni penguin fresh in your mind?
I've never heard the term macaroni penguin. I think of
Actual
a penguin
species.
When you say that, my brain goes to a picture of a penguin made out of macaroni.
No, it's not. It's an actual species of penguins. I would show you a picture, but I'm on my phone, so
Hold on a
you
second.
can
I'm
look it up.
working on it.
Hold on. I have this.
They have creepy
magical
hair
gadget.
too.
Macaroni.
They have hair, and it's weird.
Yes. I didn't know that it had a name. I just knew that
Oh, those.
Robin Williams was one of them at one point.
Yep, it's called a macaroni penguin. They say
They're
it's
in
evil.
that. They were in that movie
Mhm.
with the penguins.
It was a horror movie. It's found footage.
Okay, yes, the surfer penguins, I called them.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
they look like, yeah, we're going to catch the waves, man.
But the cute ones in movies are fine, but like a real macaroni penguin is fucking terrifying to look at. Like when you're just
So-
separated in a thin layer of glass, staring right at it and it's staring at you. It's terrifying.
Dante has never been to a zoo since he's been out of my stomach.
What?
And he asked me what their teeth look like. So I showed him, and now he no longer wants to see any more penguins ever again.
Yeah, man, they're little razor sharp fucking teeth.
Macaroni penguins eat a variety of marine life, including krill, small fish, squid, crustaceans, and the souls of children. How'd
Yeah, I
that
was gonna say
get in
children divers.
there? Yes.
They will bite your hand off though. Mean
My
little
children
fuckers.
take the souls. They don't
And
give
then
theirs.
swallow it whole.
I did learn about a species of bat recently that I didn't know existed, and I feel weird that I didn't know they existed. It's the hammerhead bat. They are actually a true fruit only. Like fruit bats eat a lot of things, and they'll still eat some insects, but like the hammerhead bat only survives on fruit and has a different digestive system than most other bats because of it. It's they're insanely. They look almost like they've got the head of a goat. A lot of people in some countries have mistaken them for chupacabra because of how big they are. They are enormous and have a very oddly shaped head, and they fly. And they've been misidentified as chupacabra.
As you do.
Yeah, but if you look
I
up a
think we've
picture of it,
all
man,
been
the hammerhead
mistaken.
bat, you'll see why. If you see one in the dark, you can kind of see why someone would think that.
I think we've all been mistaken for chupacabra at one point in our lives.
Chupacabra.
Chupacabra.
I have a friend, Jake, who actually has this. It's one of those story songs that
I've
was.
been mistaken for other things.
But yeah, Jake's got this song called "Fuck That Chupacabra." He's a musician and like a wildlife enthusiast. He's a climber, like all kinds of shit, and a caver. And he came out with this song a while back. It's just on the acoustic guitar. It's just called "Fuck That Chupacabra," and it's the most amazing song ever. And I've been trying to get him to record it and send me a version of it that I can turn into a music video.
Huh. Wacky.
That would be great.
It's a good song.
Okay.
His other song is "Crack Baby Don't Come Back," but I thought that might be inappropriate for the network. A little bit.
We talked about some very odd things here. Oh, on that note,
Do you have any questions
which
for
poem
us?
do you want
there?
them to read most, Uncle Macro?
Oh. All of them?
And what were you trying to say?
I was going to ask if you have any interview questions for us.
Oh,
Like,
I have.
What's our
millions.
favorite Pop-Tart? Okay, well.
If it doesn't exist.
That one's Dante's question.
Ham salad, the Pop-Tart.
No. Okay. Yes.
wouldn't eat
Dante's
that.
question is the Pop-Tart thing. He will ask anybody. He tried to ask the lady at the dentist's office, and I had to translate. Who was the raven hair chick?
The what?
I wrote that poem about Dell.
That's what I was thinking.
That's right. I do remember that poem. You read that poem once, actually.
Yeah.
For a campfire, yeah.
Yeah.
I could have swore, but I haven't been able to ask her permission to put her picture up there. So I haven't.
She's been busy.
So I went with stock photos, and then I'm like, none of these people have pens.
Well, it's weird because you didn't really prompt the reason why you were having. You just came up with pick one of the pictures. I went, what? Okay. I'm like, are you setting me up here? Am I going on a date? What's going on?
Only if you want me to set you up.
Nope.
That reminds me of the time in The Office where Michael Scott fell in love with a girl that was a model, modeling the chairs because they were thinking about getting new chairs for the office. And he fell in love with her, then found out she was in an accident and died and got depressed.
Yes.
That was a fun episode.
On that note,
Sorry, I love the office.
what is the scariest thing that has happened in your life at a zoo?
I've never really had anything scary happen to me at the zoo or while I was at the zoo. I'm gonna say at Harambe because that's my local zoo where that happened, and I grew up with Harambe, like going to visit Harambe. So that was fucking devastating. That whole thing to me. I was not there. I was not present that day. I'm not going to discuss my opinion on the matter, but that fucking wrecked me for a while. To grow up with this fucking gorilla and then bam.
I can tell you what the scariest thing was that happened to me during a school field trip.
That'll work.
All right. Well, this was 1983. I was 9, and my third grade class was going. This was in Pacific Beach, Washington. So we were all going on a field trip for the day we walked through a forested area. And then we were going to go onto a beach that you could only get to by walking down one of those crisscross trails down the side of a cliff.
Damn.
Now, at the bottom of this cliff were jagged rocks with the ocean surf smashing into them. Now, the trail was kind of, we could only go down these single file, and there were loose dirt. And I was walking with the group, single file. And then I don't know, I may have hit just a loose portion on the trail, but I remember slipping, and next thing you know, I'm hanging upside down from the cliff, and 2 of my classmates were holding on to me by my ankles.
Shit.
I think I did. And yeah, and then that's when the school superintendent ran up and, helped to pull me back up. And so that was hair raising. And for weeks afterwards, whenever we talked about that field trip, that always was brought up. James almost died. Yay! In fact,
Damn.
when we made the pictures of what our favorite part was, a couple of people actually drew a picture of that. And I'm hanging on, help me. Yeah. So
I'm glad you didn't die.
well, I'm glad I didn't die too. Because I'd be dead.
If I'd have known you and you're my friend, like back then, your nickname would have been Field Trip.
That's okay.
I don't know. I give random nicknames to people when bad things happen. Like this year, I've got a porcelain because a kid dropped a toilet he was carrying and it shattered everywhere on top of my feet. Another kid, poor unfortunate child, flooded the bathroom, the toilet, our opening night this year. So his name is Overflow now. I just take really embarrassing or terrible things that happen to you, and I give you a nickname, and that's how I show love.
Now, okay, I'm going to tell my story, and I'm going to find out what you have to say about that one. I know I'm having this bad headache, but I don't want to miss this field trip because we're going to the zoo, not the zoo, but the aquarium and the IMAX. I want to go. And we get there about halfway through the aquarium because in Chattanooga, the thing is humongous. My face starts drooping, but there's nothing we can do because we're in the middle of the aquarium. We have to finish. And we get to the end and the teacher said, "Hey, your face is drooping." And I'm like, I understand, but I want to finish the field trip. So we get to the end, and then I am both enjoying and regretting the IMAX video. It is one of the coolest things I've ever seen. But luckily, I brought extra ibuprofen. I brought 4 extra so I'd pop them in and take them before we go in. So it lessens the pain, but you have the IMAX sound, and we're going over Africa and all the beautiful things in Africa. And then afterwards, we get home, and my grandmother picks me up, and she takes me to Erlanger, and
Okay.
she has to leave with my sisters so she can take her home and get her fed. But dad comes in and makes sure I'm okay and gets me a hamburger because I'd been sitting there all day because you sit there for hours at Erlanger for no understandable reason. And they finally realized, oh, there is something wrong with this child. We need to bring them back. That was the part that aggravated all of us.
Right.
But yeah,
I'm dying to know though, while in this IMAX experience, did you bless the reins?
I said some curse words, and according to some witches, cursing goes both ways.
Okay, fair enough. As long as the reins in Africa were blessed, that's all that matters.
Yes.
Okay.
So, grouping faith, turns out I need IV antibiotics because I have an sinus infection from hell.
Damn.
So that, and I'm like, okay, what type of nickname does that one get me?
Toto.
Toto. The scariest thing that happened to me was watching a Marilyn Manson DVD while drinking Rempel Mint on Valentine's Day and throwing up something black. Yeah.
Minute of Decay must have been on that DVD.
What about you, Mariah? What's the scariest thing that happened to you on a field trip?
Okay, so the scariest thing that happened to me on a field trip is the direct fault of the infamous Bobby, otherwise known as Skin Biscuit. Okay, so I have told friends stories of my best friend for years. Like Raz knows many of them.
Very many.
The to
I love
preface
Bobby.
for those of you who have never heard, I met Bobby in 6th grade, but we had actually been hovering in each other's stratosphere since 3rd grade. We just didn't know it. We met in 6th grade. We were the weird kids. We were in band and orchestra and drama and, brainiacs. Didn't have many friends, so we had each other. So the scariest thing that happened to me on a field trip with him was actually junior year. We went to a local competition, our chorus group, and we qualified to go to the state competition. State competition was at Carowin. Funnily enough, there are not very many things that I am afraid of, but one of them just happens to be I'm afraid of heights. Bobby took me on the Tower of Terror at Carowin, which it's just that drop ride where you're in the seat.
Yeah.
This was before they did the one down at Disney World because I'm old. So he's on one side of me, my friend Rod's on the other. They talked me into going in on this. I already felt nauseous, and my best friend, because he has to make everything extra, goes, hey, open your eyes. Look at this. So I open my eyes right when I hear it click into place because I know we've stopped descending, and I'm like, okay, I got a second. That was not the wise thing to do because the scariest thing you can ever see in your life when you're afraid of heights is to open your eyes when you're that far up and then hear the click as it drops you and see 2 quarters hover right in front of your eyes as you drop. Like,
Yep.
they're there, you're not. Screamed like a bitch. Got to the bottom. Quarters landed in front of me. I could not get out of that seat fast enough.
Damn, man.
I felt like my heart was coming out of my fucking throat. To this day, nothing. I have been in a burning building, having it fall on top of me. I was not as scared as I was in that moment, watching those quarters hover right in front of my face. No, never again. Never again.
I finally thought of one on a school trip. So in my sophomore year, we got to go to New York for choir. Choir and band got to go to New York because we kicked ass in all these competitions. So we went to the national competition. And, it was awesome. I got to see Phantom of the Opera on Broadway. I got to see some really cool shit. We had a lot of the traditional New York experiences, right down to the guy trying to sell me watches from his trench coat. That was fun. But the scary part came in the hotel, because this was a really nice hotel that I don't even know how we got this kind of a discount on. It was a very fancy hotel that children should not have been in. Well, for some reason, we were allowed to go to the mall one day to buy, souvenirs, whatever we want. And I remember that I got excited because Kindred the Embraced had just dropped on VHS with the never before seen episodes that never got aired. And I bought it. I was so excited. I bought it. I came back. I realized there's no VCR. I was pissed. I had nothing to watch. So my buddy's like, I got some entertainment. I was like, what do you got? And there was 4 of us in a room. He's like, I got water balloons. I'm like, why the fuck did you get water balloons? He's like, because this. And he fills up one in the bathroom sink and throws it out the window onto a busy New York street, and it hits someone. So they're freaking out. And then we all start laughing and close the window really quick. And then we all decided to start throwing water balloons until someone pulled a rather large gun and aimed it in shots. And it busted a couple windows up. Thankfully, it was an empty room. We got into a lot of trouble for this. A lot of trouble. The next day, we were grounded to the bus and didn't go in to see the World Trade Center. And the really sad part about that is that was only a couple years before 9/11. So I never got to see it because I was busy throwing water balloons at people and getting shot at in New York.
Motherfucker.
So yeah, that was my scary thing. I almost got shot in the face in New York.
Raz, you know how we've talked about the weird coincidences? Fuck you, bro. Fuck you. No, seriously, fuck you. So, I know you got in trouble, but did anybody tell you the other repercussions for what you did?
Oh no. I mean, people were pissed off. People called the cops. The cops actually came to our fucking door with our chaperones. That was fantastic.
So, you guys were only on one side of the hotel, right?
Oh, I know. There was a bunch of schools there. A bunch of schools. All the schools got housed there. I never met anyone from the other schools.
Yes, you have. You just didn't know it.
How do we not make this connection before now? I know you know this story, or have I never told you? I mean, maybe I never told you. I don't know.
You never told me this story.
I mean, it's a pretty fucking random thing. I mean, I do a lot of weird random things like this, so it doesn't make sense. Like I said, what I told you.
You never fucking told me this story, because I know for a fact that I said, I have told you the story about when we went on the band trip and we got locked in our rooms because this other band got in trouble.
Yeah. But it wasn't band, it was choir. Well, my band was there too. But yeah, that's actually kind of funny.
Fuck you, dude.
I know we all got
I
locked
had
down
plans, man.
because they were going room to room asking people in our school because we were on that side of the building.
Yeah. No, they locked us all down. And what was really bad was, you guys had been there a whole day already.
Yeah.
We were one of the schools that came in later because we came from North Carolina. So
yeah, we were also the reason they put all the tape on the doors to see if any kids had left their rooms because we were going to each other's rooms and getting high and drinking.
Damn it, you ruined my whole New York experience.
They never found out we were smoking weed though, because we were taking the the cardboard inside of a toilet paper tube and stuffing it full of dryer sheets and smoking and blowing, exhaling through it in the bathroom at the fan. So they never found out we were smoking weed. But they did find JJ's flask, but he took the fall for that one. So we were.
Now, the irony of all this, guys, the irony of all this is me and this motherfucker were talking then.
Yeah, we
Of
were.
course, it was
On
AOL. But, like, we were still kids, and neither one of us copped up to the fact we were going out of town with our class. Like, it was just, no, I'm not going to be around, got stuff going on.
Yeah.
Knowing this now, motherfucker.
You don't tell people about your personal shit when you're, on AOL back in
Yeah.
the day. It's like safe.
Yeah, because, we were all like, oh, we're going to get kidnapped. Fucking stupid.
I was a little bastard, so I'm not gonna apologize because that was me then.
Like, we were literally in the same building. That's what's fucked up. We were in the same building and didn't know
Same
it.
floor too, just the other side of the building.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
Fucked up, bro.
We were floor 7.
Yeah.
That's fucking nuts.
What's really awful about this is Bobby was with me too.
You're gonna have to tell him that too.
Yeah. Oh man, he is gonna be pissed.
That's fucking funny, man. That was like the year after we met.
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't think it was a full year, but yeah.
No, it couldn't have been because no, it wasn't a full year because I had just joined AON
Yeah.
at
And
that point.
yeah, I just left RAF to join AON.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. God,
That's
we're
crazy,
old.
man. Yeah, we're old.
We're
I was
old.
just thinking about
fuck,
AOL
dude.
earlier today. AOL stuff earlier. I don't remember why.
Oh, because we were talking about a mutual friend.
Mary. No, yeah. What a really close friend of mine's mom, who I was also very close to, passed just recently. So I actually got to talk to Mary for a while. We used to podcast with Mary too. She used to join us on Twisted Geekdom a lot back in the day. But it's crazy because Mary went in for a heart attack and her mom went in the same time. And right as Mary was getting taken to the hospital, her mom looked at her and said, "I'm not going to bury you." And then like a couple minutes later, ended up in the hospital herself. So it was a crazy scenario.
Holy shit. It is
Yeah.
hard to think that any of us that did that are at that point.
Yeah.
Well, except for Knack.
Yeah.
I haven't heard anything about him in years. So,
And Annie probably.
yeah, Annie. I forgot about Annie.
Yeah.
But yeah.
The long and short of this is we met on AOL very many years ago, and we used to RP on AOL for many, 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 many years. For those of you at home, you don't understand. AOL means America Online. It was the thing where you'd get this little disc and you pop it in your computer, and you'd get hours before they made paid accounts. And it also was the reason Big Brother exists. So you're welcome.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Something I never really knew, but Firefox is basically the newer form of what used to be Netscape.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Who knew?
It's crazy how a lot of that shit has come back around full circle in weird ways.
But you know what's really funny, and I do say this, some of us that were kids that got on AOL and we RP'd there,
Most of
because
us kids.
yeah, like when we did that growing up, like now look at what we do. We might work other jobs, but we're writing.
A lot of us
Majority
turn
of
out to be
us write.
writers. Yeah.
Yeah, like there are so many of us that write. I mean, I will never say I write well, but I write. It's kind of, it's nice having that group. Like
Yeah.
there's others.
There's
We exist.
others. We're like in Lost. We're the others.
Yes. Yeah.
Fucking
Oh my
Lost.
god!
I'm so mad at that damn
can't
show.
believe that. I still can't believe that New York shit. Oh my god!
That's just crazy,
literally-
man.
I just sent Bobby a text. I'm waiting for him to text me back. 'Cause,
Somebody's
it's gonna
on
be
a hit list.
I might be. No, I Bobby loves me, but I'm also on his hit list for many things. So
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
but it's understandable though. It's completely understandable.
Yeah. Well, and it's kind of funny because I don't know, things going on this year. I don't know if I ever told you, but Bobby's mom passed.
Yeah, I know. We talked
Um,
about it.
yeah. And then, so like, it's been a really bad year. And he actually
Bad year
said
for everybody.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah. He actually said something. He's like, "You're doing the podcasting again, right?" I was like, yeah. He goes, "So, what are the odds that you guys are going to do, Cards Against Humanity again? I want to get in on that." And I, I was just like, oh God. Because I
There'll be
remember
stuff
that
on
night
that.
with Bobby. Yeah, having you and Bobby in the same group doing Cards Against Humanity was hilarious. So I
I don't
told
want
him, I
over
said,
MySpace. MySpace still exists, and my account is still active.
oh wow.
Check on it once in a while.
Yeah. But yeah, he said something about coming to play with us, and I said, I'll talk to people. I don't know
We don't
when
do
we
it.
can do it.
We can't do it during shows because the network policy, but we might be able to do like a gaming thing over on Twitch or something.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Well, I mean, we could
Yeah.
do it on my Twitch channel because you know anything goes.
Yeah.
I do crazy things over there. It's fine. But
No,
yeah,
I love that game. I just wouldn't play it on one of the normal shows here because that would be bad. That would go really badly.
that could go really bad for us. Yeah. No, and it's getting his schedule nailed down too
Yeah.
because he's the amount of shit he's got going on.
He's
is
a busy
insane.
boy.
Yeah. Well, he's always been busy, but
Yeah.
like that's the only reason I want to keep writing the zombie book is everybody was like, "When are you gonna write more about Robbie?" I was like, "Robbie's a real person, people."
Yep. Everybody in that is very real.
Yeah, every single person in that book, real. I know them. We know
If you
them.
want to read about the most accurate representation of me ever, it's in that book.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Oh, I've had fun with
No, it's
Raz
fine.
representation. Sorry, I walked out.
But in any other version of me, it's got to be Jenny. Matt tried and he hung on and pretended to be Dr. Rasty Slasher. Even signed a baseball. Had me sign a baseball that has Dr. Rasty Slasher. And I got the baseball in the car. I don't even know why he did this. He found a baseball, but he was pretending to be me at the con. He did a pretty good job. He sold some books. But I was like, you're still not Jenny. You can never be Jenny.
Jenny is
Actually-
very good at bullshitting.
My mom is unpacking stuff recently. She's looking for something that I might have to send back to you.
Oh yeah.
So yeah.
Do I want to know?
It's you remember when you sent me like the cassette tape with all of your band stuff on it, and you guys had like written on it and shit?
Yeah, I do
My
remember.
My mom kept it. She
Don't
still
send that
has
to me.
it.
Keep that. That's awesome. You should keep that.
Well, yeah, but I know there might be something on there you might want to get a hold of.
There's not. I'm sure there's not. I don't have a cassette deck anyway, so it really doesn't matter.
You know that
Fair enough.
thing that we were talking about before the show?
Yeah.
Stefan's put it on the thing.
Okay.
It's findable on his page on Facebook.
Okie dokie. Yeah, I was gonna tab out and look, but I forgot if I tab out, I'll wrong lever again. So I was like, no, I can't look at it yet.
Yeah,
And-
I can't look at my messages either for the same reason. That's actually what kicked me out.
Yeah.
So
Sorry.
I'm bad at
it's okay
phone.
if you don't look at mine. It's just Uncle Necro wanted to say something.
Yes.
I was just saying that I'm going to have to call it a night here.
As long as you tell us what you love most to put on your grilled cheese.
Yes.
Are you a butter person or a mayonnaise person?
On my grilled cheese?
Yeah, when you toast it, some people put mayonnaise to toast it. Some people put butter to toast it.
Butter to toast, but mayonnaise on the inside to keep things together. I believe we call those cheese Frenchies here.
Okay.
Dip them in
I did
batter
not
and
know it
deep
had
fat
names.
fry them.
I'd try that.
Oh yeah, they're quite nice.
Good.
So
Alrighty.
anyway, remember to watch The Tomb of the Terrible tomorrow, everybody, because we
I'm
have
not gonna
to.
watch it. I'm gonna be there.
Well, we have to watch
What's the movie?
to talk about.
What is the movie?
Amityville, no
Amityville,
escape.
Amityville, oh God, make it stop. So,
Is that really the name of it?
no, it's
Okay.
Amityville, no escape.
Okay, yeah, we got to change the lineup soon for the shows, like what shows are doing soon.
Right.
Yeah, we're waiting to get to the point where we know when the season ends. Then we
Yeah.
will end this season.
We're
We
getting
have,
close.
2 more movies on that wheel.
I was actually about to say probably sometime the next 2 weeks would be the end of season, so that would make sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then we got to do our annual holiday party, our network holiday party.
Yes. Hopefully by then not Mariah, but Delphine won't be so in pain.
Yeah. Hoping for a speedy recovery here. So
Very much so.
anyway, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Remember to spay and neuter your friends.
Achievement.
I'm working my way through the group.
Mine was hard. I had to go 4 hours away. Then I could find a doctor, and I still had to drive another hour away. And then he would do it. Getting your tubes tied here is hard.
Oh yeah.
Okay. What's your favorite topping to put on ice cream, and what is your favorite ice cream?
Ice cream. I like vanilla ice cream a lot.
Yes.
Hot fudge and cherries. Even if it's not a sundae, just in a bowl, I'll fucking eat it.
Sounds good. What about you, Mariah?
So
I need to leave the country. Actually, no, I'm supposed to look good.
my favorite
Oh.
is actually cookies and cream. And I like hot fudge. That's been my go-to forever.
What did you say the ice cream was?
Cookies and cream.
Cookies and cream? Ah,
I gotta say though, if I gotta pick a backup though, it's butter pecan. I like me some butter pecan.
definitely both of those are
But-
on my top 2.
But if you do the
And,
butter pecan, you gotta do the southern butter pecan because it's better.
Yes. And then I love hot fudge. I love chocolate syrup. I love the the syrupy walnuts.
Yeah,
Wet walnut?
Say what?
Are you talking about wet walnut?
Yes.
They're done in like the honey caramel type stuff.
Depends on which grandma's house you're at. Because sometimes they're done in molasses, sometimes they're done in the honey caramel, sometimes they're in the maple, like the real maple syrup.
Yeah.
It all depends on where you're at.
I've never tried that. Sounds good.
It's big down here. Randy, he'd never heard of it till he'd been down here.
Gotcha.
So
We
yeah.
make our own. That's why I said depending on whose grandma's house you're at.
I forgot to say this. Send late birthday love to the boy. My brain
Yes.
has been so fucking just destroyed lately. I meant to just fucking call you guys, and I forgot.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. He actually it was an experience. We took him out for his first adult birthday. I know it's 2 years late, but
Doesn't
we
matter.
wanted, especially with the autism, we wanted him to have a couple of birthdays where we were at home when he was drinking, so
Yeah.
he kind of knew. Um, so this year was the year that we took him with us, and there were shenanigans, so many shenanigans. Um, the shenanigans started at the Chinese buffet.
No.
Yeah.
Hey, at
we
least it wasn't in Springfield.
Yes, this is very true. And we did not get kicked out, so there's that, already ahead of the game. But with some of the stuff that went down with the bar that I used to play out of,
Yeah.
that it kind of limited where we could take him.
Yeah.
But the other bar owners, knowing what I did, knowing why I did it, when we showed up with Christian, they were phenomenal with him.
Hell yeah.
So it was a good night. He is actually, because of the situation, the bar that we took him to, which shameless plug here, on after in Fayetteville, the bar owner has a paddle every year. He gets a new one. But because this was Christian's kind of first real social outing, doing something like that, Christian was the last person to sign the paddle this year.
That's so cool.
Yeah, it was a good night. Darts played, shenanigans, much fun. I really wish you could have been there, or we could have been on the phone, because
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you, my son drunk is hilarious. Again, he doesn't catch social cues, so the more he drank, the more he started talking about D&D, and the more he started talking about D&D, he's got a full beard right now and really long hair.
Yeah.
But he inherited my shortness, so he's only about 5'4", 5'5", and he's like, I'm an angry dwarf, around and doing stuff. It was hilarious. Definitely would do again.
Hell yeah, that's fucking cool, man.
You would have enjoyed it.
Oh yeah.
You know how he is. So, it was great. And by the way, when you guys start a new campaign, he would like to know, because Thursday is one of his nights off.
Nice. We're gonna at some point in time be resuming those, hopefully sooner rather than later.
Well, now that he's playing D&D, he loves it, but he's still looking for places to play. And when he found out you guys were doing a quest now, he was like, why didn't I get invited? Because, he's takes everything personal.
Oh yeah.
I was like, I didn't know you'd want to play with Raz. He goes, Mom, it's Raz. I was like,
Yes.
fair enough.
Raz makes life better.
I don't know about that.
He is our cult leader.
Depends on the day and the situation, I guess. I will be right back in 2 seconds. Well, maybe 5.
Okay. He's like, 5.
Yes. The message I sent was, please let us know your next day off so Raz and I can make time to attack you, and we can talk about your 2 new books and his new books and celebrate those and have a new interview.
Funnily enough, I have 3 days off this week. 2 of those days are already accounted for. However, the third one is not. And the third one is Sunday. So
So
I can
do,
definitely do
show.
next Sunday.
Great.
Yeah.
It can't be the usual 9 because we have a show at that time. So you'll have to give me a time in the afternoon that I can tell Raz, hey, I need to steal you.
In the afternoon.
Yeah, well, we have
Good
a
afternoon.
show that evening at 9 like normal,
Yeah, it's
unless
true.
we just make that show unprinted pages.
Good.
Okay, then next Sunday we'll just have an unprinted pages.
Like, I mean, it's rare for me to have a Sunday because typically I'm doing what I'm doing now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe other
But
days.
like, yeah, and I mean, I'm working on something. Yeah, we're still live, so I can't say anything. I am working on something that might change my schedule.
Okay.
So there's that.
So does that day
But
work for you, Raz?
What day?
Next Sunday?
Yeah. Wait, next Sunday. Yeah, next Sunday's fine.
Okay, great. We now know what we're doing. Yes. And I get to have two of my favorite people on unprinted pages.
I'm in the process of switching over to my PC just to warn you. I will be right back.
what's really funny is I'm sitting here waiting to drive home because we're doing this right now. Like, I literally just clocked out. Did inventory, clocked out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, look, it is to a point on Sundays where I just want to count and go home. Like, I just want to leave. The problem is I have to have inventory counted by a certain time. So yeah.
I need to know if you guys can hear this. Well, not me echoing. Hold on.
Barely.
That was echoey.
We hear tiny
Yeah,
bits.
it's the kid going, I like turtles, but like I can't figure out how to make it louder. So I'm gonna have to experiment with this custom button. I redid it the other day. At least you could kind of hear it this time, which is better than not at all last time. I'm
I
still
turned
learning a new board.
the
Oh, wait.
special effects. I had to turn it all the way up.
Well, I have
to
a
get-
different setting and a different everything. This board is really weird. Let me try this.
A little bit louder.
Oh, I can kind of hear it.
A little bit clearer.
It's about as clear as it's gonna be, I think. Yep. All right, there we go. Can you hear me like in general okay?
Yes.
I really haven't screwed with the settings of this thing. I really need to sometime soon though. Check. And then okay, yeah, that kills my reverb. Good.
Sort of messed up my settings because I brought everything out of here so I can make it a hot box to make the rolls.
Okay.
And I've been getting them back on where they need to be because little fingers like buttons. Yes. Do you have a favorite part of the haunt?
No, that's like asking me to name a favorite haunt kid. Like, I love the whole haunt and everything in the haunt. Really, if I got to pick though, it's gonna be the freak show every time because I built that thing and staffed it, and it's grown into a beautiful thing even without me being in there. So, like, more than anything else, the freak show is definitely my baby.
Can I get a picture of the doll area just to have as my background?
Yeah, I'll get you one this week. Just again, remind me.
Brutal. Awesome. Oh yeah. Next Saturday in the evening, I may not be able to answer because I may not be able to hear. It's that usual party thing.
Okay, yeah.
Because Coburn's is the best. But anyway,
Okay, so you guys are now in my car.
okay. That's a good place to be.
I just got out of my car. Now I'm eating pepperoni and cheese from a snack tray because why not?
Well, like I was telling her when you were switching over, I've literally been clocked out for like 20 minutes waiting to go home.
That's crazy. 20 whole minutes.
But yeah, but once I get there, you know, I can be online and doing multiple different things at different times and talking to everybody. So
Oh yeah, I'm already back to multitasking now. I feel like I spend a lot of my time.
You guys ever say what?
I said I feel like I spend a lot of my time multitasking.
I do too. Have you guys ever made turkey spaghetti?
Turkey spaghetti? No, that sounds. Oh no, I couldn't do that to spaghetti.
Alrighty. What about chicken spaghetti?
No, nuh-uh. Only one meat goes on.
spaghetti gets red meat. Period.
Okay. So
I
it
can't-
might be an odd South thing.
I can't call it spaghetti if it's something else. Now you can use other meats, but that changes the name of the pasta that you're eating. So, oh, it's
And
okay.
yes, Mariah, we know you won't come out of the drawer or be at the Domino's, but that doesn't mean we can't still say random things about you not coming out of the drawer because the whole entire commercial is ridiculous.
Yeah,
Fair enough. Honestly, if I have my way, I won't be associated with Domino's after 2025.
Good luck with that.
Like, I mean, I know I'm not selling, you know, millions of books, but I need to do something where I can spend more time writing. And this ain't it.
Now that I have gotten out of my mental slump that had hit me at the end of August going into October and partway through November, I'm getting everything scheduled again and learning how these different platforms work. And they all are weird. Some of them want to be a very odd version of Twitter/X, and some of them aren't sure what they are, and they keep changing stuff. And all of it doesn't make any sense.
Well, I need to spend time with Raz because I went to Wix to try and make an author page, and it's trying to charge me money, and I got told it was supposed to be free.
no.
I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
No. The hosting is not. Making it is free through Wix. Hosting it is not. There's the whole thing you have to do. I'll teach you. Don't worry.
Fair enough.
There's a whole lot of awesome things Raz can teach us.
Well, he's been on me since like 2012 about not having an author website. So yeah.
My child's entire life?
Yeah, pretty much.
The question is, what is the name of your starship?
My starship.
Yeah, she says she's a purveyor of perilous pilfering space peons. And that implies she has a starship.
Dreadnought 66.
Awesome. Hmm. What did we call ours?
Come up with a good name for one.
Wait a second. I am going to find it. The disgruntled blossom. Where is your favorite place to write?
Wherever people leave me the fuck alone when I'm writing.
Honestly, I'm the first thing that hit my mind is she asking for a place or for a state of mind?
My
Is-
book is called State of Mind. There isn't a good one.
Because like lately, I like being herbally infused when I write, if that makes sense.
Yes. It's one of my favorite places to be.
Well, I didn't used to be, but other than pain relief, it's honestly the only time that I relax and I can focus on one thing. So that's kind of been my go-to lately.
Okay. It's very hard to find that. Very hard to write with a Dante around. He likes to blow my train of thought so often.
Honestly, that's my biggest problem. It's always been my biggest problem. I'll be sitting there writing, and there's like 2 or 3 people coming in and out, asking me questions, saying something, having conversations. It just kind of fucks with the flow.
Now, if we could just find a place to lock ourselves in so people can't find us.
Right. That'd be nice.
I
That'd be very
found out I have a lock on my closet, but locking the door is not feasible.
I have a lock on my door, but it doesn't matter because everybody. The second I go to lock it, then 10 people knock and need something, so I just don't lock it anymore.
I'll be honest, that's the one thing I miss about my house in Salisbury. I had a whole like office type setup that was away from, rooms that had TVs or anything going on. Now I'm like slap dab in the middle of the living room and the dining room with my setup, and it's just horrible.
Yeah, I get that.
It's amazing how much I can get done on my phone, writing wise. But I have also found that it's easier for me to think if I am writing it out first. Write out all the big scenes and then try to make it come together typing. If you could pick a book where you could go visit and see places, which book would you choose?
But to go into a book and see the things in it,
Hmm.
Cabal, Clive Barker, hands down.
Honestly, Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, because it introduces you to that whole universe and you see so many different places for the first time. That would be the one I would go to.
Number of the Beast. But after Lazarus gets a hold of Jake's drive and is able to attach it to a ship. Then we could go to some interesting places. And then I'd have to come kidnap you guys and then go to both those places.
Fair.
If you could pick an author to meet, who would you like to meet?
Ooh. Who have I not met?
Mary Shelley.
Came when he was still an addict.
You know, for me, that one's kind of harder because I don't actually want to meet Heinlein until after he'd started writing certain worlds. But that was closer to his death.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think Mary Shelley for me, just because she broke so many preconceived notions as a writer, as a female writer, that just, yeah.
If I was a pizza, what type of pizza would I be?
What type of pizza would you be?
You would be a Chicago style deep dish, something layered and just decadent, because there's so much there. Like, you write, you're versed in other writers, you love to read, your interests vary. Like, there's a little bit of everything.
That is a great compliment. Thank you.
Right. So I had to hand the keys back over. I was like, if you just came out a couple minutes earlier, I'd have still been out there.
If you could make your own Lunchable, what would you have in it?
That's a really good question.
All right, I'm going to switch over. I just made it home. Hold on.
I would have carved ham, like the traditional Christmas ham, like the carved ham, like that. So I like Townhouse butter crackers. Those are that's used to be Ritz, but those are not my favorite crackers. Those type of crackers, and I would also have. Let's see, is this one Havarti dill cheese because it's my favorite cheese.
That's numbing. Um,
Sorry, she
Ritz
found an
crackers.
she found an old skate, like one of the old metal skates that you used to put on the bottom of your normal shoe, just sitting out in the haunt from somewhere. We just cleared out an old section of the haunt where a lot of stuff from the farm came from. So found a skate.
Okay.
We find
Did
interesting.
anything non-corporeal come with it?
No, not this time.
Okay.
It's been here for years. We just never went through this pile of stuff until recently.
It's interesting. Rich crackers, garlic and herb tuna, and pickle chips. Like hamburger pickle chips, but the really thick ones.
Oh wait, I can put pickles in my Lunchable too.
You can put pickles in anything you want.
Oh, I love pickles. Right now, I'm eating a bunch of bread and butter pickles. A whole jar of them to myself because I haven't had them in a while. But I can't do like the zesty hot pickles because of my stomach. But dude, I'll eat just about any pickles.
I was thinking dill pickles for mine because those are my favorite ones with tuna.
If I'm gonna go with pickles for inside, I wouldn't go bread and butter though. I would go with the sweet dill chips. Those go really well with that Havarti dill cheese.
And I think just straight Colby would be the cheese.
Colby's good. I haven't had straight Colby in a long time, man. Way too long.
I remember eating that with my grandmother.
We just get big blocks of it and just cut it.
Oh yeah. Now you mainly see it with Jack.
Yeah. It's weird. I don't see Colby on its own all that often. It's always Colby Jack. And I like Colby Jack. Don't get me wrong. I like it quite a bit. Which is odd because I don't care for Monterey that much. I don't care for Monterey Jack that much. It's okay. It's not one of my favorite cheeses, but I like it paired with Colby.
And although after you told us the pizza cheese was 2 Mott's to 1 Munster, I think I like a better half and half. But I think it was a game changer when my kids found out they could make their own pizza dough and make their own pizza now that they're older.
Oh yeah. Homemade pizza's fun. It's just fun, man. I remember the Chef Boyardee pizza making kits that I used to get all the time back in the day. And no matter what you do, they turn out weird.
Oh yeah. That is why we would make our own instead because
We would get them and call it
that
pizza play.
and Chef Boyardee just tastes funny to me. And now that I'm older, it doesn't stay down.
It depends on what it is for me, like specifically. Like in the pizza kits, though, they don't use the regular Chef Boyardee sauces. They use the original version, which was a sweet sauce with a little mini pepperonis in it. And then, like as I grew up, they changed the formula and it wasn't as good. But I do still like ABC soup with meatballs. That's the only kind of their soup I can eat because again, it also has a different sauce than a lot of the other Chef Boyardee products. And I don't know why that sauce is more palatable to me, but it is. They've changed that a little bit too from like back in the day, but it's still the only one I'll do. Because back in the day, instead of ABCs, they would do like Smurfs and Ninja Turtles and like really cool stuff. And it was really good. But now the only version of the recipe that exists properly is just ABC soup with meatballs. Because the non-meatball version actually has a different sauce.
And that is the weird thing.
Yeah.
And yeah, I found out that all versions on brand and off brand spaghettios are not my friend. And it's
I-
kind of saddening.
SpaghettiOs have always made me sick to my stomach.
Hmm. Are you a with or without peanuts M&M fan?
Both. I like regular and with peanuts. They're both very good. It's a mood thing, you know.
Yeah,
Like
I think
for some
they're
reason,
fun.
I think peanut M and M's when I think popcorn. I'm gonna sit down and watch a movie. That's the kind of M and M's. If I just want chocolate, I want some M and M's. I'll eat regular ones. But like if I want to chill and just enjoy my time, some popcorn in one hand, peanut M and M's in the other.
Hmm. Yeah, Cassie has been experimenting with different things you can do with Oreos and marshmallows, and she has come up with some very interesting concoctions.
Have you had the pretzel M and M's?
Yes.
I think those are my favorites. I just haven't had them in forever. So I really like.
Um,
I love chocolate covered pretzels like a lot.
have you tried the Take 5?
No,
Reese's Take 5?
no, because I don't like Reese's.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I like Reese cups, but I don't like Reese Pieces or any of the other Reese products. And I've tried them. But I've tried most of the products anyway. I just got to a point where like it all just tasted the same to me. I didn't care for it.
I like the Take 5 because they added the pretzels, and I think that helped a lot. We have reached 2.5 hours.
Oh shit, yeah.
Do you want to continue with the random questions?
We can for a bit if you want to. I don't mind.
What is your favorite story from the Harshman house from when you were younger?
Well, I mean, here's the funny part about it. When I was a little kid, um, I always used to joke about that was going to be the house that I lived in someday. And then I started hearing lots of stories growing up from my grandma, just a lot of people about how haunted and fucked up it was. And the closest I've ever been to that house is at the property line. I've never actually been inside of it. And it's right by where I'm currently at too. It's just down the street from where I'm currently at.
Do they do tours or are people living there?
It was a home for a long time. I think it's still privately owned.
Okay. That is very interesting.
But no, that's the founding the Harshmans. There's different branches of the Harshmans that aren't related that live in Riverside, so it's super confusing sometimes. Um, but the Harshmans that own that house were some of the early settlers of Dayton itself. And it wasn't until much later. I was actually a child when Riverside became its own city, its own town, or its own township or whatever. Like we were the Mad River district, but I'm wanting to say I need to look this up to just be accurate. It became incorporated in 1995. So I was actually 13 when my neighborhood went from being called Old North Dayton to being Riverside.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, they were obviously the town was named after them because they were some of the big founders of Dayton, along with General Dayton and some other very famous people that founded the city. And when they wanted to incorporate and create a new city, they Riverside because we're right up next to the river. And I mean, one of the main streets, huge ass main streets throughout Riverside is Harshman. And there's another section of Riverside that's a subsection of Riverside called Harshmanville, which is crazy.
Okay.
There's little like birds, like these tiny little burrows inside of Riverside, depending on what part of Riverside you're on. It's really weird because Riverside is not very big, but there's very different sections of it, and one of those sections is on base, so it's extra weird.
Yeah. Even Hans Holzer has written about things happening at the base.
Yeah, that would be the living area over there would be the Page Manor area. And part of Forest Ridge is also base housing and old general housing. And it's weird because the way it's built, is part of it is in Beaver Creek. I'm wanting to say it's like this really weird line between Dayton, Riverside, Beaver Creek, and Fairborn.
Okay.
Really weird. But where I grew up on Riverside was like right by all the highways and all the major ways to get anywhere. And we grew up on the edge of and Heber Heights. I can't forget Heber also. But I lived right next to there as well. So like when I grew up, I could be in any one of these cities over here in like a matter of a minute down the road in different directions. So Riverside is like a hub city that's like a connecting point to a bunch of different cities. It's the wasteland of Dayton.
It's like Houston. It's just swallowing up many different places.
Yeah.
Like its own organism.
Yep. I would definitely call Riverside a living organism. Maybe a sickly one at times, but I still love my hometown, and I still technically live partially in my hometown. So depends on what part of the parking lot I'm in. There's a big chunk of our parking lot is still technically Riverside.
I research a lot of the odd things like ghost stories, UFOs, and all that good junk. And half the time, everything leads me back to somewhere in Ohio.
Ohio's a place.
And I didn't.
As fucked up as it is, and it's also a very beautiful place. Like the people that talk about how horrible it is here, that hate it, there's nothing to do. Those are the people that just don't know the history at all of Ohio or what it is and its importance to a lot of things in the world. And they don't hang out with the right people. And that's the thing. If you know the right people, you know the right places to hang out, you just take a general interest. There's a lot of things to be proud of and a lot of really cool things. Then there's fucked up things and things to be ashamed of, like anywhere else you're gonna go. But there's a lot of cool things here. And that's my tourism.
Yeah. At the beginning of Rorschach and Tea Leaves, there are things that I didn't even know.
Oh yeah, those are all actual real haunted locations though. Like I said in the book, though, a number of them have been torn down by now, so just the land is there. But a lot of it's gone. And it's funny because the amusement park that's based on is this amusement park that used to be called Americana and Fantasy Farm. They were two different, like, small little theme parks, like, in one. Right next to each other. And it was a big place to go. It was in LaSwordsville Lake. And that was a big deal. And they just published another ad about how there was still a lot of it still out there. They were in process of leveling all of it, turning it into like something new for the area. And I was like, okay, that's where this story is going to take place, is in Swordsville, which is part of Ohio.
Awesome.
Made it back.
Welcome
Yay.
back. I'm about to go outside again and smoke some more.
Sounds like a plan.
I just had to come inside so I could roll some cigarettes,
Oh, that's a helpful thing.
That's right. I'm going to switch over to my phone again.
Alrighty, I will let you back in when you do that.
I will see you there shortly.
So,
Hi.
And
Made
you
it.
are always a good person to have around, and I enjoy you.
I'm glad somebody does. There's just I'm. There's not many people that can tolerate me anymore, and I don't know if it's the pain or just I don't know.
No, I have plenty of questions. Like, I want to learn more about your different paranormal experiences. I want to learn more about the world you're writing. I want to continue to tell people about the world you're writing. And yeah.
I'm gonna be honest, like, as far as my writing, and I've been honest with Raz about all this. I don't think, because of everything I've been through, I just don't think I'm good. I don't think anything I do is good. Like, I put stuff out, and I know people say that they like it, but the only person close to me that's ever read anything that I wrote, was kind of an asshole about it, so I quit writing for over a decade. Like all of my fantasy stuff, nobody has read. All of my fiction, nobody has read at all. Like it's just what it is.
I'm in the process of reading the other things. I can honestly say I have finished 2 different versions of the one you just put out, the Arthurian one,
The Fall.
The Fall.
Yeah.
I've read 2 different versions of that. Then I have read most of the one you've just about put that not just about the one you just put out, and I am working through the other previous ones you've given. Hey, there he is.
Yes,
Sorry about that.
I just got back. You're good.
Yeah.
But we collectively, Patty, Raz, and I, want you to keep writing. We want to
Yes.
keep reading your world.
Dude, you're taking the fuck off this year, dude.
Well, I was just telling her, personally, and you know this, and I struggle with it. I feel like I don't write well. I feel like, but you know this. This is a conversation you and I have every 3 months, and you
That's
tell
the
me
moron side of you, yeah.
you tell me to suck it the fuck up.
Yeah.
I
was just asked by Jenny last Sunday what my favorite short story that I've read recently, and it was the one that you did for our anthology.
Like,
I'm serious about that. I read a lot of short stories, and I'm very serious about that, dude.
That was so far out of my wheelhouse.
It was
like,
good. It was gripping, dude.
I have not. I'm still trying to wrap my head around the fact that I wrote it. It was like, because literally, it was kind of like the zombie book that came about because we were on the podcast and they were like, you should write something. I was like,
we were going to turn it into an audio drama. Like, we were going to do an audio drama for it, if you recall originally.
Yeah.
And then it fell through.
No, I remember that. But I mean, me even writing it, like, I think I had jumped into a Thursday night show because I happened to be off.
Yeah.
And you guys were talking about it, and I was like, well, what are you doing? Nothing. You should write something for it. Well, I don't write horror.
Yeah.
And we started talking about, horror's not necessarily blood and guts. Yeah, it's subjective. That's the whole night that we had that conversation, and I think I started writing on Friday.
Yeah.
And turned it in a week later.
Yep.
I think. Like, that was, yeah. Still kind of like, because when you look at it compared to like stuff like yours, and other people's stuff,
you are not anybody else. You are Mariah. I will never be Raz T Slasher, but also I will never be Carrie Bates ever. But I'm gonna still read all their stuff and write. And she's the one I have most ghost stories from.
Yeah, I struggle with it. I do. I struggle with it. I feel like when I write that I'm missing something they have. And I'm not quite sure what it is, but I know it's not there.
I read my story in front of Curtis M. Lawson, and I am not I will never be on his level, but I wrote a story I'm proud of.
Dude, reading stories in front of him and Rob Smales and Steve Van Samson and Stefan, like, it was nuts. It's intimidating as fuck. Because that's how I feel too. I'm like, I'm not those people.
Yeah, I just, I still feel like I'm lacking, and I know that's a personal thing I have to get over, but I'm not there yet. Like, I keep writing, and I don't know. At this point, I think I'm just writing to make my brain shut up.
Not a bad thing. I just finally hit a point within the last couple days where I no longer officially think I'm a bad writer. Like, and it's not that I thought I was a really bad writer, just I thought some things were good and some things were really bad. But when I sat back and I really look at everything I've done, some of the things I thought were some of the worst things I'd done were some of the things that like a lot of people really liked. And then some of the things that I thought were gold were some things that maybe, I don't know, some other people didn't like them as much. But what I learned overall is it's the people that look at your work. You know what I mean? The people that leave you your comments, leave you reviews, and talk to you about it. And after a while, I just had to set myself down this week and be like, okay, I need to get over this hump where I'm at. I'm stagnant. I've let myself become stagnant again. What do I need to do? And I had to look at what I was doing and make some hard decisions and change the way that I was thinking about myself and how I write. And I had to finally admit to myself that I'm not a terrible writer, which may sound like a stupid, easy thing to do, but it is not. I had to pep talk myself into this conversation. And it was a conversation I had with myself.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I think for me, it's because my stuff's not. I don't want this to sound bad, but it's not really getting out there. Like you guys see it, and the people that are directly associated with the podcast, people that are associated with Fakor see it. But other than that, there's not a whole lot of feedback. Like, other than people that are already directly involved in, getting it produced.
But okay, listen, that's the shitty part about being a writer, though. Like, dude, I put a lot of shit out there. I have the most feedback I ever get, to be honest with you, is when a narrator narrates my shit on Chilling Tales or some other famous place and the comments. That's it. Review wise, I don't get shit. Like, I have hardly any reviews. Some things I've written, I've got 0 reviews for, just none. So it's like, and that's what was sticking me up a lot. But then at a certain point in time, you got to stop and look at what kind of marketing are you doing? Are you putting it out there in front of all the right people? No. Well, then who are even the fucking right people to begin with? And that's a whole mind fuck is what that is. How do you know who the right people are?
Yeah. Well, and I mean, for me, I don't put my stuff out there for other people to read, if that makes sense. Like, or to like have other people narrate it for other things.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest. Welcome Home. Yeah, I did that because everybody's like, hey, you should write it for the you should do something for the anthology. I honestly, even writing that, I thought that was going to be, hey, we're going to bury this at the back of the book and nobody's going to know it's there.
Well, no one got buried.
Well, no, I mean, but you know what I'm saying? Because it's not, I don't write horror. Like, yeah.
But you do. Everybody writes elements of horror. I mean, you cannot write a single anything without writing some elements of horror. It is literally, if you consider it for what it is at its base, it was the first genre.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I've already made a step in the right direction because the particular incident that we shall not name, despite it influencing so much and me not writing for so long, because of said parental unit,
well, that too,
the fact that I am still writing at all, like, that's kind of a thing.
Oh, I wasn't ready for it yet, Jenny. I'll tell you.
Sorry. Forget him and everything he has ever said. Because
100%.
the people you are with now know how capable you are, how talented you are, and how much we love you and your writing.
I'm trying, and every time I like throw up my hands and say I'm done, Raz messages me and says, "Hey, what you done?" Nothing. You should be writing. I don't really. And then he spends 30 minutes telling me why I'm a dumbass. It's fine.
It's my job.
You do it well, sir.
My thing is, you also know me. I'm very blunt. If you weren't good at writing, I would have told you that a long time ago and like helped you find something different that you were good at. But you are that good at writing, in my opinion. So that's why I'm never gonna let you know. Like if Jenny were to tell me I'm gonna stop writing, I'd be up her ass too. Like seriously, or Ron, or James, Dell. Like some people just should be writing and telling stories, and that's what I love. I love to tell stories with my friends and see the stories that they create. That means more to me as a writer than me writing myself sometimes, is being a part of a group of amazing people that are contributing something to this world,
Mhm.
Yeah.
I'm glad somebody wants to read my ghost stories.
I love your ghost stories. I have also a personal connection to your ghost stories in very interesting ways. So
Well, it
let it just fall off by itself.
because of you guys' ghost stories and all that. That's why I find stuff like the podcast and all that I talked about earlier. Like it's intriguing. Hey, that sounds like something I should share with Raz.
Yeah.
Which happens more often than not.
So I do want to. I'll have you pop that thing up so I can explain it now. The post that was made a little bit ago. I don't know if you guys can read what it says because I can't read what it says.
It's coming soon. Creepy horror tales from Raz T. Slasher.
And that's from Fractured Mind Publishing. So part of my getting my shit together as a writer was trying to figure out how to separate my horror side from my fantasy side and kids' books and things like that. And it looks like I'm going to be doing that effectively. I don't know all the details yet. There's a lot of stuff that's happening. We're going to do some special editions of my 3 current horror releases and see what the future holds with more planned books. So it looks like you're going to be able to find a lot of my horror moving forward at some point in the near future at Fractured Mind. But you'll still find all my kids' books, anthologies that I do, and an upcoming poetry project, some fantasy work I'm doing. You'll still find all that, right there at Facor as well. So I'll be repping 2 publishing companies now as a writer, and I'm very excited about that. I love Stefan. Y'all have met him. He's been on our shows a bunch of times. He's a good guy. He's taught me a lot, and I'm really proud to be potentially the first solo author under Fractured Mind.
That is awesome. Congratulations.
Nice.
And I promised Patty also that she said she would miss the horror books. I'm like, why are you going to miss them? I'm just going to give you copies of them. She's like, okay, that's fine.
So
yeah, as long as she gets to read them, she's happy.
Speaking of publishing, I don't know if anybody noticed. I noticed like a week ago. So Darkness Falls and Dark Fury got pulled down. They're no longer Amazon or Barnes and Noble.
Saw that.
Yeah. So they no longer exist.
No, they're on my phone still.
I'm on hard drive.
Yeah. Well, I'm still waiting to hear back. I had one person that did read the initial 2. They just got the fall.
Okay.
So I'm waiting to see what they have to say about the changes because they were plentiful. Like that change went a lot different than I thought it was going to.
It was very different.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it a lot. I've already talked to you about it.
Yeah. It was extremely different from what it used to be.
Yeah.
And I'm not quite sure if that's a good thing or not.
No, it is though, and here's why. As you write and as you grow as a writer, and as you learn how to tell better stories, it's different to go back and visit a story. I'm literally about to do this again with SIC 1, 2, and Riverside Chronicles to some degree. Like, you get a chance to revisit things, to update that with new things you learned, and just new ways you tell a story. And it wasn't it's never going to be the way you told it the first way was wrong. It just evolves. The way you tell the story evolves, and I think that's a good thing.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, because there were elements of the first one that I didn't use this time, but I really liked. But it felt like the story moved a little better.
It did. Consider those elements, because you had a lot of things going on. You know what I mean? There was a lot of things going on at once in the original.
Yeah.
Don't throw those elements away. Bring them in later.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. It extends what content you have available with things that you've written that you really enjoy. Because you should never just drop anything off the chopping block as a writer. You know, you hold on to that shit.
Yeah. It's different. Like, it is different. And some things did. I think part of the evolution came from doing contingency.
Yeah. I can see that, actually, the way you told that story. Yeah.
It changed some things because, and I can say this honestly, the first two were very heavy, detailed purple prose.
Yeah.
And looking back at it now, you can see how it kind of makes it slow down and at some point stall.
Yeah.
Contingency, while it still has its flaws, that one just kind of kept going. Like, it didn't stop. It was consistent. It did not stop.
It didn't at all. It's what I call the leave the motor running book, you know, like where it's that book you get to when you start writing, where you're finally like, oh, that's what flow is as a writer. Because we all write like crazy, but we all have that marked point in our writing level where we hit that we finally get flow, and it changes everything we do from then on out.
And I mean, I'm not. Yes, I'm probably going to do a rewrite on contingency. And maybe I shouldn't. Maybe
no, you should. You should.
But it seems like doing the rewrites is a better starting point for where I'm at now than trying to add on to things that drag me real low.
Yeah.
As far as everything. Which, you know, it's kind of hard because contingency has so many of you guys in it. And and I know rewriting it, I'll have to do it again. You know, and it's and that's hard because I loved having certain names and stuff, but we all know the reason I'm changing names in certain aspects because
certainly.
Yeah. So I hate that part.
Yeah, that part does suck.
Please add me in a space where I die.
You want to die?
I killed Jenny a lot. I really do.
Honestly, if I write short stories, I will. If I write another dark short story, I'll kill you. I'll find a way to kill you.
Yay.
Like, I don't do short stories often. I either do like full-fledged epic pieces or nothing.
Yeah, I feel that.
It was why Welcome Home was like such a big thing. I was like, you're asking me to fit what and how many words? Okay.
Tiny package.
Phenomenal cosmic power. Itty bitty lemon space. But yeah, that's just things I'm still struggling with, which is really horrible when you consider, like, I keep bringing people to Patty going, hey, this person can write.
Oh, I just brought another person to Patty. I brought Rika to Patty just like recently.
Nice.
And I'm almost done with Rika's first book, and I'm really loving it.
Well, I brought Josh.
Yeah.
you know, and that's already started. I'm trying to talk him. He keeps saying, you know, he writes the poetry, and his poetry is great.
Yep.
And he keeps telling me, you know, I want to write stories like you do. I'm like, then do it.
Yeah.
Then do it. Just do it. So you know, I'm pushing that, and then I talked to Justin.
Wow.
I pitched Justin to Patty. And at the time, his family was going through some stuff, and that just ended badly.
Yeah.
But when I was talking to him about it, he was like, you know, when this settles, if I start writing again, and I was like, dude, we got a place for you. Because I'll be honest, he remains one of the best writers I've seen.
I will agree that he's a fantastic writer.
Like, I really think he needs to publish something, anything at this point.
I have a very long and very different history with Justin. So, but what I can say about him, he's super creative and he's a hell of a writer.
He is.
He's very skilled.
Well, like, I'm not gonna lie, you guys never got along. I was like the bridge between two.
We didn't, but at the same time, like I'm also the kind of person, if someone is really good at something, I'm gonna be the first person to say this person is fucking good at this thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, he deserves credit. He's great at what he does.
Yeah, like, you know, and what's really funny, you know, I RP'd with you both, and when it came to certain things, I would go to you,
right?
You know, and go, hey, let's do this. But for other things, I was going to Justin and saying, hey, you know, let's do this. And you two, like, if we put you together in character, it was like cats and dogs.
No, it was.
It was
very
horrible.
different people.
It was horrible. But like you both, like, I've heard from you both how much you respected what the other person did.
Oh, I respect the shit out of him. Like, and it's not even that I don't like him now. It's just that we're very different people that didn't see eye to eye. But I have a lot of respect for him.
Yeah,
for him as the person and for what he does. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like, and you're both the same way. It's like to talk to you both say the same things. And you can both talk about the pros that the other person has in certain aspects. But then you're like, but we just don't see eye to eye. And you're both like that. And it's just like,
because we can be honest about, like, I mean, like I said, I mean, on a person, my issues were somewhat personal for other weird reasons, but they didn't affect the kind of person he is. He's a good person.
Oh yeah,
I will tell you, he's a good person. He's talented. He's a good guy. Just, for some reason, I've never met anyone quite like him in terms of the situation where that's just how it is, and we're both fine with that. Like, that's just, you know.
Oh yeah, but like, it's so funny because when I talk to him, he'll go, "You talked to Raz lately?" Yeah. Yeah. He doing okay? Yeah, he's publishing another book. Tell him I said grats. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be saying the same to him. That's what's even weirder about the whole thing.
Like, and you'll both do that, and I'm just sitting here going, okay, cool.
There's a lot of respect, you know?
Oh, yeah. And, like, for me, it's just great because when you've got two people that are so talented and what you two decide to do and build, like, you are masters in your universe. And to be surrounded by that gives you a lot of flexibility to go, hey, guess what I can do?
I think that's also kind of a lesson in mental health, oddly enough. Like, what a lot of people don't understand of all ages, this is not like an age thing, but of all ages, is that you think just because you don't get along with someone that you have to devote your time to disliking them for any actual reason. When you don't, you can literally just mutually agree with the person, like, hey, we respect each other. We just don't get along. We can coexist, and we're fine with that. Not everything has to be a place of hate or anger or anything like that.
And I mean, as much as you two might not get along, that year that we were doing Twisted Geekdom,
Yeah.
And
was
Randy
That was the
Randy
early days when
yeah.
Justin was on.
Yeah, and Randy was deployed, and I was just
Yeah.
struggling. Like, you two kept me grounded, and it was always it was one of the two of you making comments that did it. Like, and you both knew what you were doing.
Oh yeah, we both knew. We just picked at each other to death.
Like, you know, to have that kind of understanding and respect that you both knew, you both accepted, but because I was having a hard time, you made it work. That
Well, you got to. I mean, and that's the thing. If you got a mutual friend with someone you don't necessarily enjoy being around, but you need to for the sake of that friend, it's people treat friendships like a divorce situation. Oh, well, you like that person, so you can't have time with me. And it's like, no, fuck you. I want to live with both parents.
Yeah,
that was like your situation in that, you know.
Yeah, it really was. And you know, I know I didn't really say anything at the time, but you know, through the deployment, through all that crap, through the crap that was going on with publishing, you know, and then to cap off a banner fucking year, you know,
Right.
losing my grandmother.
Yeah, that was a big one.
That was exceptionally hard, and like through it all, I had you, Justin, and Dark, and like you three guys, that was a thing of beauty because me being me, I understood what all you guys were doing because you guys, there was a mutual respect, but if it hadn't been for me, I don't think it would have gone down the way it did.
No,
because you guys were trying to hold me together, and that was just
that was the important thing.
Yeah, because I was losing my fucking mind, guys. It was bad. It was super bad. But I mean, so look, Raz, you're responsible for somebody's sanity.
That's terrifying.
I know, right?
Man.
Luckily, Josh is in charge of mine.
I've just eschewed sanity altogether. So you get to a point at a certain age, a certain level of health where you're finally looking at the road, you're like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm done trying. It's just, you know.
You know what? In the last 6 months, I've reached that point where I'm just like, you know what? Fuck it. What's gonna happen's gonna happen.
It's really been this, probably about this last about the last 6 months where I finally really hit that too.
Yeah, like
I'm not just pretending it, like, you know, because that's my brand, but like actually just living it.
Yeah. But you know, for me to get to that point, that's like a huge, because I still remember you got so mad at me. Are you always so happy? No. I just try to be, you know, there has to be a bright side. I still remember that conversation too. Did not end well.
Very hard to keep the bright side. And then one day you hit a wall. And then
Well, what for a long time, and I want to say this is up until that point that we were talking about where we were all on Twisted Geekdom. Like, it didn't matter how bad things were. If they spit something out that was like, this is horrible, this and this and this has happened, I was always going, well, at least there's this. Like, I was trying to do the silver lining thing with everything. Like, to an annoying level. It was very unrealistic. Very unrealistic. Now I'm jaded.
what's fun is when you know you're jaded and you're still trying to pretend.
To a degree. Well, I mean, I still try sometimes because I feel like especially in our particular group of people that is still active. There has to be at least that one person that goes, well, this could happen. I feel like I still have to be that person sometimes. Otherwise, it's all depressing.
That is understandable. Everything's depressing. And I'm trying to pretend for 3 specific people. Yeah, that's fun. But the 2 oldest, I've been able to explain things like, hey, everything has went sideways. You have to help in a way you haven't helped before. They're like, oh, okay. But they did. And they did amazing. And also it's probably one of the most tiring nights they've ever had. But they didn't complain. They were like, okay, mommy, let's figure this out.
Raz, did I send you the full version of the other novella I finished?
You have not yet.
I need to send you. I actually finished it and I sent it to Patty and I sent it to Friday. Because you already know I put Alec in it.
Yeah.
I finished it. So it's the other side. Because I did decide to do that this time. I don't know if any of you guys were aware of it, but when I initially did the Vengeance of Avalon series, I had pitched an idea for a series that ran parallel to it, specifically on Earth, which was paranormal. It was supposed to be like urban fantasy type thing. And I got told it wouldn't work. It was too confusing.
Too confusing.
That's because they were assholes and idiots.
We're not talking about that part. But, in Dark Fury, I initially introduced your character when they came to Earth. You knew how I was setting that up. So the new novella is the equivalent of Darkness Falls for that second series. And I finished it and I handed it to Patty. So I have to send it to you now. So apparently I'm going to try doing that second series as well. We'll see. I've got a whole bunch of stuff like I'm doing. Everything's all over the place. I don't know. I still don't understand how I released a customer service book. I'm still trying to figure that out.
I'm glad you did. It is awesome and amazing, and I am going to continue to try to tell people why they should read it. And I'm going to make more of those little graphics for it soon.
Well, honestly, it was never supposed to be a thing. It just became a thing.
So many Reddit stories about customer service, and now you have this book that the same lovers of that can come find. I don't know what your Reddit name is, but it definitely needs to be added to your page, because I know people look for it, sees you, and then some of those I send the link back to Raz and I'm like, did you give this person permission? And we go from there. Because
so honestly, I'm not on Reddit because I'm a horrible person. I never fell into the Reddit hole. Yeah, I've read the post from time to time, because as you do, but I did not actually ever join Reddit. I do not have a name. I don't have a handle. So yeah, there's that.
I
Yeah,
didn't join
I'm
until recently.
I am like so totally not in the things I need to be in. Like social media wise, I have an Instagram. I don't use it. I don't know how it works. It's fine.
At
Pinterest,
some point, I just
no
need
clue.
still to log in from you.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
Still
I
wonder.
actually I can go change the password so it's something you can access. I don't use it. Like I use Facebook. That's about the extent of my social media presence. Well, that and Twitch from time to time.
Although there is this one thing I'm seeing that these authors will have pen names, but they will do the thing of I am writing as this person because I have a different genre I'm using. So I've started putting Mariah Lynn writing as or Raziel, your other name writing as Mariah.
Amina.
Amina. My brain is trying to crash and words are hard.
It's fine. Words are hard for me all the time. Well, like Amina, initially I wasn't gonna tell people that I was Amina for obvious reasons. But then things changed. But I think Patty and I have come to an agreement. When I write something that is completely out of my wheelhouse, it'll go under Amina, i.e., horror,
Yeah.
stuff like that. That'll go under Amina. The Avalon stuff will probably stay under this name. But then again, I don't know what all I'm gonna write because, like right now, everything's just kind of spinning wheels in my head.
Dude, you got to try
So
new
write
things.
it.
Look at me. I'm writing spicy romance horror right now. Come on. That was never something anyone saw on my bingo card.
No, it was not. That's when you said I don't understand what this means. And I'm like, here's a chart.
Your chart and the examples that Lily sent me help me kind of wrap my brain around. And I'm still struggling a little bit with certain aspects of it. Like terminology is the thing I'm honestly struggling with the most. I'm not gonna lie.
I can help with that.
What part of the terminology?
So right, this is a spicy level 3, which means there's sex scenes involved, right? I
Uh-huh.
write horror, I can write comedy, I can write a lot of things. Even fantasy, I found out. I can even write love stories. I'm really good at love stories. It's the sexual part of it that I'm having problems with. What terminology is okay, what people find offensive, like that kind of stuff. It's not
How
erotica.
about
It's just level 3 spicy, so it's not erotica.
Level 3 spicy. I'll send you a list. There's like I know what you're saying. There's literally a list of words you can use that get the point across but aren't offensive.
Yeah. And my thought was write the scenes and then we can come together and find the right words to call things that aren't supposed to be called that if they aren't.
Like I promise you, there is enough females in this group that have read anything spicy. We can help.
Okay, good. My only love scene at the moment, and it wasn't like sexual, was a guy and a gun. I literally described this thing. I gotta find this thing because, like, I was really proud of it, and it's not giving anything in the story away at all. It was just one thing. I'm almost to it. Here we go. Okay, it's a very short paragraph. There were a few false starts in the beginning, nights where Jasper doubted himself. On those nights, his fingers deftly caressed his lover's hard stock. He gently kissed Colt's steel lips as he cried and begged for oblivion. On one such night, Colt's explosive nature left the hole in his ceiling apartment, only narrowly missing the elderly upstairs neighbor as she slept. Yeah, that was the paragraph.
I like it.
I made it seem like he was making love to someone, but no, it was just he was trying not to kill himself. But I just, it was my artsy way, I guess.
that is one heck of a way to put it, and it's amazing. And that is one hell of a depression.
But yeah, I mean, I don't write spicy. It's not. I mean, I can. I know. I'm nervous about it. I guess is the thing. You know.
What I need you to do is write the thing. Write the story, because I know you can write it, because how beautiful Love and Magic was as a love story.
And that was
I know you can do the love.
I'm singing is just a spicier version of that, the concept,
Yes.
but with the background of a mental institution.
Why not?
I'm sorry.
Because-
It wasn't funny. I'm sorry.
No, that's
But also, dude,
Well, no, I find it hilarious because of what you and I were talking about as far as two characters.
oh yeah.
That was why that was so amusing.
That's it.
Because I was already planning to do that, and now it's like, damn it. Okay, fine.
so do it
Yeah.
anyway.
You would do it
Negative. I don't even. You know what? It'll be part of if I write that. If I write that, that'll be in that Saints and Sinners series.
Because I guarantee you, we can all write about the mental institution part. And none of it will be the same.
No. Not at all. Well, like, this is okay. So I am cursed because I want. We've mentioned it. We RP'd forever on AOL, and like there were some. I created a whole bunch of characters for a whole bunch of different reasons, but my brain needs to finish their stories, and some of these books are my way of doing that.
Yeah.
And there are a couple of characters that Raz had a hand in being around for, that I needed his input for. And one in particular is closely tied with one of his. I'm like, dude, you got to give me this. I was like, I need this. Like, this has to happen. So I've been talking about outlining that book for a while, and I've been throwing ideas off of Raz. And a couple months ago, we were talking about it. And I was like, hey, a mental institution. Let's discuss. So yeah, it's just funny. I find it funny.
Yes. But also, I really hope we do a anthology next year, but the problem is there's so many routes we can take.
I
We can
thought
do the apartments, we can do the mental institution, we can do the hotel, we can do the haunted house, or we can do the town that's watching the haunted house.
Yep. I also thought about an amusement park as another option.
That
You
would
know
be
what?
interesting.
I wouldn't even do a full amusement park. If I were to do it, I would do like the haunted house in the amusement park that people go through. Like just different tales from people that went through from different,
Mhm.
Look at me having ideas. Woo. Anywho.
We love your idea.
Well, I mean, there's so many different ways that you could do. I'm going to be honest. When the anthology for the horror got pitched, the way I started going into it was thinking about it like American Horror Story. Like we could all be writing about the same place, but from different stories around that place. I know it's weird. It doesn't make sense. It's fine.
No, it
It's
does
my-
make sense. I
It's
love
my
it.
fucked up brain.
I was just playing with things while we were talking.
Like, and I guess I'm more comfortable writing with other people I know, or like that anthology. It was easy for me because I knew Raz was in it too. So it kind of gave me a grounding point.
And
I'll be
in
honest.
this next one.
What's the next one, huh?
That's what we're trying to figure it out.
Yeah, we want to do one every year.
I don't know. Like, like honestly, you did horror. Like, we did horror as a whole, but one thing that everybody on this network talks about is the paranormal. So what if we did a whole anthology about like hauntings, whether it's from the perspective of the person becomes the ghost or the person's interacting with the ghost, or
That is my wheelhouse. I like that idea. That's why I suggested the different places.
like you could do it, like you could do a whole anthology and call it The Haunting of the Owl Light.
Well, the Owl Light Hotel or the Owl Light Road.
Well,
Or the Owl Light Freak Show.
ooh, I like that one. I like that one.
That's where Freak Show the Haunt's called too.
Yes, that one.
Up on the wall it says the Owl Light Freak Show.
And it's in the videos.
I mean, and if you do Owl Light Freak Show, well, I wouldn't necessarily use Freak Show. I would use something close to haunting, and the only reason I say that is later on you could do something called the Owl Light Hotel and do a whole bunch of different like murder scenes or something that take place in a specific hotel, and everybody's just writing from a different room or what they did at a time period. But like doing the haunting, that opens it up to
Heather Daughtry. It's not Daughtry or Doughty. Heather. I think it's Doughty. Hold on. Basically, one of the Heather authors at the other, the Water Tower Hill. I had loved the books they have done. They're anthologies because they're but they have figured out how to make it all stick together by taking little tiny pieces and talking with the author. Hey, find a way to incorporate this tiny piece of information into the story. And it'll coalesce and go on, and you'll see it come back in another story. And it could be something as simple as a bird outside,
Call out recently, actually, if people were interested in writing for any of them. I have a bunch of them planned. I put in yesterday. I put some interest in.
Honestly, if you're gonna do something like that, then the best way to do it for us, I think, would be to figure out what the theme's gonna be, and then let the first person assign who's gonna be where, and like the first person chooses an object or a thing that is big in their story, and they pass it to the person that's doing the second story, and they incorporate it in, but they choose a different object or thing, and they pass that to the third person, and then that way you just it kind of flows into one another.
Well, with how she did, they let everybody write their story as they saw it, and then they saw how they could incorporate the pieces, because then you can see the world better.
To a degree, yes, but one thing we're gonna run into, and this is just knowing what I've done, like as far as writing spots. You know, when we did Twisted Geekdom, the difference in mind between Raz's, between Darks, you know, because there's so much distance between everybody that's writing in it and nobody's that close. You have to have some kind of working line that's cohesive.
Well,
That
the thing is, we can't start making sure what the cohesive part is until we figure out where we want it to be set.
Right.
yeah.
And with where it's being set, we can set 1 or 2 people in charge of making the base idea of what the place looks like so we can have a map.
Yep.
And with the map, we can tell everybody where they're at for their story.
I'm sorry. I just started seeing the Overlook Hotel in The Shining. My bad.
Well, Raz already knows that that's what came to mind whenever I started asking, where do we want to do this next? What we have to do is, I guess, the main Illuminati need to pick a place. And then we can start telling people. The problem is, the only one I'm not that versed in is like a freak show.
Yeah.
It's the 3rd season of American Horror Story. You're fine. Just go watch it.
God, it's so much
Oh,
more.
no.
Than that. It is largely. I love that season.
That was a good season.
Oh, I love that season, but I mean, I'm not versed well enough to until we make the map, how I would begin to figure this out, because I've watched the freak show 2 or 3 times, and I've researched the different places where they have free shows, and this one of the ones that was happening when that show came out had made a live actual, show about theirs.
Honestly, if we're gonna do something freak show like, everybody choose a character and just write for that character.
I already got one. He's already got one story. I'm actually planning a couple more for him.
Like do it. You would do it like the ghosts from 13 Ghosts, where everybody has their own backstory.
But here's what I'd want to do if we did an Allied freak show kind of book. I would want to be the narrator. I would want to do a wraparound story with JB, where JB is the one introducing the stories. Like, he tells a little bit about his own backstory, like in little pieces, but he's introducing the exhibits to you. And then when he does that, then you go into that person's story based on what that exhibit that the freak show is.
Oh my God. It would be like, what's the name of it? Devil's Carnival.
Yes, actually, yes, pretty much, yeah.
I like that. I actually like that a hell of a lot. Not just because I like Devil's Carnival, but
Devil's Carnival's great. Second one, it's not bad, but the first one's great.
First one's great. And honestly, having you do the introductions for each one as JB Rotten, would be
reading the story,
fucking phenomenal.
What JB would say about it, and then kind of work that into the narrative. Like, my story would be told in pieces between the rest of everything. So it would be like the connective tissue, the Crypt Keeper.
Yes. Yes.
You would learn it. You would be learning his backstory in pieces as you go along.
Yes. Again, yes. See, now I'm all excited.
I think it'd be really cool.
You know what? Just, if that's what we're gonna do, just tell me what character you want me to write. I got it. I got it. Although I'm pretty sure it's going to be World's Shortest Woman. It's fine. I make it work.
That's funny.
Now I'm really thinking about. Yeah, y'all just tell me what we're writing. I'll write something, throw it on paper. It's fine.
It'll be fun.
Oh, okay. So, are we deciding we want to do the freak show? Is this what we're deciding, and we're just going to tell everybody else?
My vote now is freak show.
Yeah.
Because everybody else is just waiting for us to say something.
But who says that we only have to do one a year?
Yeah.
No one.
That's fair. Wow.
Okay, that sounds
So
good.
now we have a theme.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we can both write our haunted house stories and our freak show stories. And I just need to know when it comes to the haunted house if we are on the outside looking in or if we're on the inside looking out.
I would assume inside looking out.
Okay.
I mean,
Why not do both?
I was gonna say you could technically do like perspective switches like that. You know what I mean? It might be actually fun to have both sides of the coin in it.
Okay. Because I've got ideas for both. That was the hard part. Because I can give both. First, I'm going to finish this tour, and then I'm going to do that. And yeah, the tour is about the different haunted places around Friday's block.
Nice.
And I've actually brought up the maps, and I found out that the church was not just some weird fever dream. It's this weird, real place on Brown Street. And I'm like, oh, I'm glad it was real.
On Brown Street?
Yeah, right off of Hot Water Road.
Oh, near you?
Yeah, near Inside Daisy.
I thought you were talking about my Brown Street. I'm like, that's nearby. What the fuck are we talking about again?
No, we're talking about the Sadie Daisy haunting weird stuff that everybody keeps telling me except for like 3 people keep telling me none of that happened. You were imagining things because you were a little child. And the 2 of them being adults, I figure it's real because the adults saw it too.
Yep. That's true.
And you have proof you saw in your thing. Okay. And then she'll be right back. Cool. I have so many ways to play with this. But okay. I'm still trying to figure out how to actually take what the notes we talked about and make it real. And I've figured out how to do the 3 dreams. I just have to figure out how to work everything else together.
Right. That's the hard part, man.
Because I was thinking about writing those 3 depressing parts first and getting them out of the way, and then incorporating them in how they should be later.
Yeah.
Alrighty. There is a plan. Multiple plan. Okay. I shall start asking about freak show characters in the chat later. That way we can get them thinking.
Definitely. They can be a lot of fun, man.
Oh yeah.
I need to eat some more food in the near future. Not right now, but in the near future.
Well, we've been on for like 3.5 hours.
Oh, I know. I don't mind that. We don't do long ones that often, really. So it's kind of nice.
No.
A lot of good
Everybody
conversation.
keeps going to bed early because of things like getting up at 4 a.m.,
Man.
which is understandable. And
I just found out that they are releasing a Evil Dead Collector's Edition pinball table. And I've never wanted a pinball machine more in my entire life.
Okay.
Bruce Campbell actually does his voice for it.
That is awesome.
And it has original sound original film sound effects. It's got the highest number of mechs in a spooky pinball machine ever. Dude. Yeah, I need this. I need this pinball machine. So someone out there in the world, buy this for me. You got to.
I don't have the money.
It's on sale now for $2,000. I'm about to put a picture of this fucking beautiful thing up. Hold on. Oh my god, this thing is gorgeous. Let's see.
So I think the weird thing is I have found that if I post your stuff on your Instagram, it posts directly on your main wall.
I think it
And
does
then
do with that. I don't mind.
Okay. And I just go back and I'm like, wait a second, didn't I just post that?
That's where I was
Because
confused.
I forget.
I was doing it too. And then I realized what was happening. I was like, oh, because I realized this a couple days ago. So now if I see you've already posted it for me, I'll go back and leave a note. Like I'll go and like, add to the post. And actually, as soon as I realized what was going on, I felt like, well, I wouldn't say sane, but I felt,
Oh yeah, I wasn't trying to drive you insane. I just didn't know if you noticed. I wasn't trying to double post on your wall, but I was trying to get it on your Instagram because it doesn't go the opposite direction for some odd reason.
it used to, but it doesn't anymore, and it's annoying. I used to be able to set it up to where anything I post would go to Instagram and Twitter. Or X, sorry. Whatever.
And then I don't get X lately. It's not doing anything like it was. And yeah,
Oh, I got it. Here we go. Here's the pinball machine.
that is gorgeous.
And I guess when you do certain things, the very top of it, she shakes the chains and like tries to open the hatch and stuff, which is super cool. I didn't realize it was going to be what it was though. Okay, I thought it was gonna be a full big ass picture, but that's what it was. Okay, well that's still fine. I still want it.
That is awesome.
There's got to be a better picture. Let's see if this is a better picture. This is probably a way. I think this one's gonna be a way better picture. Hold on. Let's see, because that was just not a very good picture. Let me upload this one. I'll remove that one though, because then like that was kind of a terrible one. Delete overlay, add. Let's see if this one's better. Yes, this one should definitely be better. Here we go. Yeah, that's better. You can really see the artwork better.
Yeah, that one's much better.
Yeah. So yeah, it's $2,000, and I must have this pinball machine. I actually love pinball, and I haven't gotten to play it for way too long.
And just to show you, we have been telling people since we found out on the Tomb of the Terrible.
Oh my god! Okay, the $2,000. Never mind. It's $10,000.
Ouch.
Yeah. Wow. And you can make that topper actually interactive for another $1,400. And then you can do additional direct print butter cabinet package for an extra $1,500. So if I really wanted this pinball machine and everything it can do, $12,800. Wow. 2,000 is just a deposit. Almost 13 grand basically after taxes for a fucking pinball machine. And if I had a lot of money for no reason, I would buy it.
That would be amazing.
Yeah. Ooh, she's gorgeous. Didn't even start making her until next year, so. Oh.
A lot of the things I'm on, I just have to have the money to put the money to buy it. because
Yeah.
I found I can get them at like Barnes and Noble and whatever. But
Yeah, we got a wedding coming up this year for Matt and Brooke. Still trying to find a place. I'm not gonna have any money for a long time.
yeah, unfortunately, that's kind of hard.
Balls. Whoa! I
But
just
there's
go ahead.
there's some cheap ways to DIY decorations from places, and it can even be Halloween themed.
Oh yeah. I think I just found some nightmare fuel. Let me. I'm trying
Okay.
to share this post with you. I suck at this sometimes. I really suck with Facebook. Yeah, I don't know how to. I can tag you in it. I think maybe.
In comments at and then my name, and then I
Yeah.
should pop up.
Yeah. So there we go. I added you at this. It's on the Astral Infernum Productions page. Its construction of the world's largest underground McDonald's restaurant in Serbia was abandoned without warning, and it remains uncompleted to this day. And the pictures of it are like, holy shit! I want to write a story about this. There's like almost 30 pictures here, though, so like I wasn't going to try and put any pictures up. This is fun. It's like an underground village of McDonald's. It's really weird, dude. It also
Dude.
reminds me of some weird shit in my childhood, but yeah, this is fucking crazy. It's got the old like enormous indoor play places that used to be like several buildings like big. They were really popular back in the 80s, but underground with a museum aspect.
That is
Such a weird ass little eating areas too. Like some creepy. There's some creepy shit in here, man.
it's like if you put McDonald's in Fallout.
Yes, this is Fallout McDonald's. You get to a point of a clown statue behind the counter. It's a really weird version of a clown that's really terrifying. He's behind this big yellow counter. He's got like a red and white shirt on, bright red hair, and he's weird. I can't even look at that clown anymore. Oh, and the people in the onesies, the Biohazard McDonald's costumes are pretty weird. Yeah, this gets weird the longer you go, and then you get to the point where you realize there's a mine ride / roller coaster also built into it.
Yeah, guys, I put it in the padded cell for you.
Dude, this is basically an underground McDonald's amusement park. That's weird, dude. It's creeping me out, man. I gotta stop looking at that.
Dude.
Right. I thought she might be because I didn't see it muted anymore.
No, I don't know. She said she had to go take her mom.
Yeah. Really excited because WWE is finally switching in less than a month. It's a month from yesterday.
Yay.
We're going to be going all WWE over to Netflix. I'm excited because they're going to be able to do a lot more. Some of the ratings are changing a little bit for some of the shows. They're adding more shows, a lot more content. And I'm finally going to be able to watch all the weekly shows in one place versus not really being able to watch them all for a while now. So
That is awesome. Okay, which is more disturbing? This
that one was fucked.
or this one?
Where'd you get this one from?
On their page.
Oh, I was gonna say I didn't see that in that post.
No, but it was in the post. I clicked Astral Infernum thing when I started going through, and I found some more weird stuff.
You know, I got to for me. It's actually that's not even the one that disturbed me the most. Hold on, I got to find the one that disturbed me the most. Although the Biohazard smiley face costumes were pretty screwed up. Where's the one that really got me? And I don't even know why, because I'm not afraid of clowns or anything like that at all. It just hold on. It just really caught me off guard. Let's see. Okay, there it is. I just got to add it.
Because this has some interesting concept art on that page.
This is one of the ones that like really got me. It's the whole environment. It's like everything that's happening in this picture for some reason really fucked me up a little bit.
Yeah, the whole entire post takes Fallout to a new level.
It is. It's wild, man.
Dude. Yes, new nightmare fuel. Like watching the 1984 that was made in 1984. That movie.
The Fallout, can't wait for the new season. They've been showing set photos and stuff.
Dude. I love all things Fallout.
Yeah, me too.
Do you have a favorite character in the games?
No. I love a lot of the characters in the games for different reasons. Just going back to the first game, there's just a lot of different characters, man. 70s, like in each games I have like favorite characters. 76, it's the ghoul that Jason Mewes voices. Is probably one of my
that one's great.
he's one of my favorites in the whole series, not just because it's Jason Mewes. I love Jason Mewes, but like the whole setup of the character and the whole fucking. One of the early games, it's a ghoul too. I can't remember the ghoul's name. I'll have to ask Michelle. Michelle would know.
Okay.
I'll ask her soon, and she'll tell me. I'm gonna ask her now, but I'll ask her later.
This is really cool. They had Machete in one of the games.
Yep.
I loved Herbert and how that progressed through multiple games.
Wait, Herbert, was he a ghoul?
He was the tree guy.
Okay, never mind.
Which ghoul?
Wait, are you talking about Herbert Dashwood?
I can't remember his last name because he turned into a tree. That one.
Hold on, I think maybe. Is he Fallout 3?
I think.
Tenpenny Tower, Capital Wasteland, Fallout 3. I think it might be one of the ones I like to. I mean, I know he's a ghoul. Pretty sure. No, he's not the ghoul. He's human. That's right. He's not who I'm thinking of. I was thinking about someone else. Let's see. I'm looking at this thing right now. I know Galaxy Radio News also does the Adventures of Herbert Daring Dashwood and his ghoul manservant Argyle. Which is hilarious. It's on one of the stations you listen to while you play in 3. Oh no, he's not the one that turns into the tree. He's just a different character. They had other characters named Herbert apparently. It's a fun series. I really enjoy it. I'm trying to at least hang in here until she gets back. Someone just like her come back and the show's just ended. But man, I'm finally starting to flag a little bit.
Yeah, I've been flagging for a little bit too.
I think we're gonna go ahead and end it. And she'll be really sad when she comes back.
Okay. Good night, beautiful people. And remember, you can have any toppings you want on your ice cream.